I'm live.
We are live and we are unmuted. Hello, Door.
I don't think both of our stories would be fun things for the viewers to hear.
You can always tell them now, or like...
We're playing
Nah, we
another
should-
story right now.
We should get
Maybe
started now.
When we finish the campaign, we'll have like just where we reminisce about the weirdest stories
We'll
that we have. from
podcast
playing.
it.
Podcast us DnD. Alright, let's go.
So, last week, we finally made some progress. I got through 3 different fights. Borg somehow slaughtered someone who was trying to trick everybody into thinking they were a woman. And subsequently just slammed her into a wall and broke her neck.
Did you say think everyone was a woman?
She was trying to convince everybody she was an old woman.
Oh, she was an old woman. I thought you said everyone was a woman, as in like you were making
No.
Borg as a woman.
Borg also, by some sheer freaking coincidence, found the secret door to the next area by punching a random wall that I don't know how he knew to punch.
I did a process of elimination, alright?
Sure. You went to the first wall you thought of and punched it.
There wasn't really a
Anyways, after that, the party finds himself back in a waterway and have dispatched a group of skeletons, though the group is severely wounded and probably should take a rest if they think they should continue.
Yeah, should probably take
It's
a rest.
nice.
just in this little
2 of you are half dead.
little room full of bones.
I don't know what you're talking about.
bones.
I need to fix my things, guys.
I made Plink sad because of what I did.
You did. That was very rude of you.
Not my fault. I just wanted to punch a wall.
You punched a wall.
I feel
You
like
did
it
it.
still is your fault.
Still not my fault. I take no responsibility for it.
I think Alyssa's the one who opened the door to the skeleton
Yep,
room.
she did.
Yeah.
I did.
Didn't you want to check
And
for
I
like
also
bones?
killed all of them.
Yeah, because you realized bludgeoning was their weakness.
Yeah.
So we're taking a long rest, right?
That's up to you guys.
I'd prefer a long rest. Well, I think all of you guys would want a long rest. Because I don't know
Yes.
how many more spell slots you and Jamie have left for your characters.
But I only have 3 to begin with.
I've got first level spells slots still remaining, but
I have like 2 rages.
So you only have
and that's
first
it.
level remaining.
yeah, I mean I only get two second level spells.
I got 2.
Yeah, we should.
I got 2. What was it? Rages left, but I only get 3 anyway, so not too big on my part.
Well, I would say we should take a long rest since me and Jamie are both low on health.
Yep.
And Janine only has first level spell slots left.
Should
It'd probably be.
should one of us be on watch though? I think it's like I don't know.
Well,
who-
yeah, we'll
we
rotate
can-
watch, but it's
Yeah,
still
we
a
can take
long
turns.
rest.
Okay.
Taking walk.
Okay,
Yeah,
actually we can.
don't
rotate.
just don't be silly.
Yes, long rest.
Mhm.
Please. Please, I need to fix my armor. There are holes and chunks and bone, and the bone shouldn't be there.
But
Do
just
you need a
Plink
new bone? I
begging.
have a bone.
Plink begging.
Yeah, no. Bone does not work well for gears. It clogs them up.
Are we resting inside the room that you just cleared out,
Yeah, I would say
In
that's
the
best.
pool.
In the water.
or are we
Well-
going? Like we either could go back through the wall because it's all full of water, or we rest in that room.
I mean,
that's-
we're already wet. Really matters.
True, but then we get pruny.
It's also poo water. Want to sleep in poo water?
Lars is gonna be meditating.
Do you want to sleep in pool water?
I'm asking Plink. Orin doesn't really care.
Well, do you want to go back to the room with the sarcophagus full of blood? Like,
There's 2 other
another
rooms.
room.
There's 2 other rooms that are not
We
not.
could secure the one room again. It's fine. It's a little dusty, but it's fine compared to the pool water.
Okay, whatever. We can head back to one of the other rooms.
Yeah.
You guys head back to down the room.
Yeah.
Perhaps one of the rooms the guards were sleeping in originally.
What about the one that
Oh,
we
look.
found the civilian or something? Or
How did I move? It's not very.
Oh.
I don't think she'd want to sleep in there, guys. That's kind of mean.
all right, then let's go back to one of the sarcophagus rooms that were open.
Yeah, let's just go down to this one way down here that I opened before, and it was like, darn, there's no enemies.
Oh yeah, in here. Camera Borg's in
Get
the
out
wall.
void. Get out of the void. Anyways, if you guys are gonna take a long rest, make a roll. Or whoever's rolling for watch.
I will watch first, considering the fact that Borg has a better chance of actually fighting with rage. What do I roll?
Perception.
Oh yeah, I have to click on something. Perception.
Are we just doing a 2 watch or a 3 watch?
Oh, my 3D thingy is not working. Give me a second.
That may just be the roll 20.
Yes, it is. Dang it. Well, whatever.
No, it's not working on my end either, so it may just be roll 20 is not doing it right now.
Yeah, probably. Anyway,
Probably.
I rolled a 13.
Okay. And then who's doing the second watch?
I will do a
Oh.
second watch. And, sorry.
No, if you want to do the second watch, go for it.
Then I need Jamie to roll perception.
Yee. I will also, in between resting, eventually do a thing.
Borg just like me. 10.
That is the wrong button. Did I hit the right button?
No, it's
I think I hit the
performance.
wrong.
It's performance. You did.
That's performance.
My bad.
Still the wrong button.
Still the wrong
Cure.
button.
Still the
Oh.
wrong button.
Persuasion? Wow.
Oh, you persuade Borg. Thank you for
I'm
taking like.
really sorry,
Jamie,
guys.
Jamie, who are you trying to persuade?
No, I think Jamie was trying to
I'm
persuade.
sorry. I need new glasses badly.
Jamie's trying to persuade Borg or Zorus from taking the next shift.
Go to bed, guys. Go bed. Bed now. Bed.
Bed.
Oh, fine, whatever.
Go bed.
Fine.
Well, luckily, either due to the fact that you've killed so many cultists, or by some other means, nothing really happens over the course of the night.
Yay! Completely uneventful.
I love those rolls, James.
And since
The only weird thing that happened was Plink kind of just T-posed in a corner for a bit and started speaking in tongues. You're not really sure what was going on there.
Which Orin promptly gave a wonderful melody to fit.
Borg is just like, I'm just trying to sleep.
Zarus goes back to carving his bone.
I would like to do an infusion.
Do we,
I would like to do enhanced defense.
is it
think so.
is it Alyssa and well, don't Alyssa and Janine have to roll? Or is it just only Borg and Plink?
It's
Well,
whoever
you're the only ones
takes
doing the
up
watch.
watches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, aren't we all rotating, or we're just only 2 of us?
2.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's necessary for all of us to rotate through.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get back to my HP.
Yeah, everybody goes back to max HP and max resources.
Mhm.
So I get I get all my rages back, and I get back to 36.
Okay.
Yeah, and can I use an infusion?
Yes.
Because,
Yes.
yes, I would like to use enhanced armor.
Then do the thing.
Because I could only do once per day, but eventually I could do another one next long
Remember to
rest.
press the right button, Jamie.
I'm attempting to. I need to get number lock working. There we go. I am now armor class 19.
Yeah.
So now the shield is covered up in light up little circuit boards.
Yay. Wait, light up circuit boards. That means I think it would be hard to sneak around with.
Not like light up. It's
Also, I don't think we've ever been able to sneak around with Plink, so
No.
it changes anything.
Not like little time we've had Plink. Give it time, Janine.
it's not so much that it's like the Las Vegas Strip. It's more like it's clearly infused with magical power.
RGB lighting.
Throwing you guys back up there. Alright.
Ours is in a much better mood after punching some zombies and doing a short rest. He is now singing a song in Elvish while you guys are
Borg.
walking.
Borg starts stretching. He's like, need it. Rest.
You're singing?
Zarus
Humming.
is-
Yeah,
Humming.
Zars is humming in Elvish just because he's in a much better mood than the
Okay.
last few times.
Okay. So you guys come back to the area you left off at. And now there's only one defined path, considering the one room still leads to all the floating bones.
Floating bones.
Too greasy to make gears.
I don't want to railroad you, but you guys only got one choice here.
Yeah.
You got two choices, technically, if you want to leave.
We could also just
can-
try and keep going through
Well-
walls and see if we.
Well, I mean,
Oh my
it's,
God,
is
no.
it possible to dig our way up or punch my way out up to the roof?
No.
That
Dang it!
would be a
You'll
bad
cause
idea.
a cave in
Dang
and
it!
kill yourself.
Dang it!
You
I'm
can't,
less-
but it'll cause a cave in.
I'm less worried about that, more about some guy upstairs using the bathroom and discovering there's a hole in his bathroom.
Dang it!
So true.
Anyway, Zars continues forward, humming along, because nothing can go wrong by doing that.
Borg just follows at the end of the group while making sure that the civilian is nearby. I would say right in front of Borg, so it's like in between everyone.
Plink is prepared to be good meat shield.
Like Plink and Borg are sandwiching the civilian, so we can keep him safe.
Her.
Her safe. Keep them safe.
Yee.
Well, as you guys round the corner, those of you with dark vision, let's see, you can probably see them on the map.
I see him.
Yeah.
I got a
We're
sneak.
gonna-
I got a
Yeah,
sneak
thank
preview
you.
earlier.
You see locked in combat a large man. Let's see. Behind the hall, a flooded chamber opens up with a rough-hewn steps climbing to the south, north, and northeast. The floor buckles up above the waterline in the middle of the room, forming a small island. Corpses and doused torches float in the water around the island, atop which two men circle each other with weapons bared. One of the men, a tall, unarmored brute with a great club and a scarred face, towers above his opponent, but is gravely wounded. The small figure is muscular and bare-chested. He clutches a bloody dagger in one hand and a torch in the other, and has no flesh covering his skull. Yeah, that's what you see when you round the corner.
Fight time.
Does anybody know how to detect good?
What do you guys make of the situation before you rush in there?
Someone has a flesh wound.
Like, what are you guys looking at?
Zars probably thinks, oh, another ritual. Reminds me of home.
I am attempting to see if I actually have anything useful. Mending. Magic.
I definitely have
I-
nothing useful.
Janine has something useful.
But does Janine want to use it though?
Are we talking detect magic?
No, I think you may have the other spell type, actually.
Just oh. No, isn't that just protect?
It's protection.
Yeah.
I'm thinking detect.
Yeah, I
think
do
you
not
protect-
have detect either. I was checking my spell list.
I have
Because-
protect. I don't
No,
have
but-
detect.
Just because someone is missing all of their flesh from their face doesn't necessarily make them a bad guy.
Does Janine protect?
I need to look up what the spell does again. Give me a sec.
Protection from good and evil gives you resistance against anything of those alignments.
Janine,
So like resistance against like poisons and stuff.
but Janine attack, and she protect.
I protect.
Better than Longcat.
I mean, I guess I could do that on Plink, because Plink would probably be upfront about it. But like,
I don't know.
it doesn't let me check and see who's who.
So I'm gonna do a I have an idea that might help.
Okay.
What
Also, I
checks
can't
do I
do
have
double
that might work? I got...
Clearly, animal friendship. Sorry.
History or religion might be of insight too.
I got history.
Is he gonna roll a 2?
Ooh, no!
Oh, nice.
Yee! I did good for once.
Bob, or not Bob, you're playing a different character. Plink. Plink knows the tall man is someone important to the city known as Mortlock Van Thamper. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Basically, he's the son of Lady Van Thamper, who is a very influential member of the Council of Baldur's Gate.
That's good. So the other guy's probably not great if he's keeping him here. Question mark?
I don't know. You have no idea who this other guy is, besides he doesn't have a face.
Cool. Well, I guess we'll
He
go.
gives off the obvious creepy cultist vibe, though.
Okay, that's what I needed to know.
The fact that he's missing a face in a dungeon
We're not
with 3
facist.
cultist gods.
We're not going to be facist. If
Someone could have a
there
flesh
could be
wound.
any reason why he would not have a face.
No, he's literally just a body and his entire skull's exposed.
Okay. So,
So the only thing keeping him alive is some sort of weird cult magic.
okay. Then protect the not Scully guy in this case.
Wait, we don't kill him?
You don't
Yeah,
kill the giant.
the Scully guy I don't think is our friend. I think he's a cultist guy, so we better help the other guy. The other guy is important.
The guy who's tied up?
Nobody's tied
There's
up.
no guy tied up.
They're fighting. They're like in a gladiator death
Oh,
match,
okay.
Nick.
I don't know
He
about
is an
that.
important city member.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and do protection of evil on Plink, since Plink will probably be right up against the.
Okay.
We might also want to do some range stuff because Plink does not move.
And you're still in water, so.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
what's your
Plink is
movement
gonna
speed?
25, and then it gets halved to I move 10.
You only have 20 speed?
I have 10 at the moment because I'm in
Yeah.
water.
Oh no.
She's a gnome.
That's
She's not going far.
Can I throw
He's
Plink?
ver-
Can I
He's
throw?
barely
Can I throw Plink?
Yes.
that
can
would
I
cause
throw you,
his
Jamie?
Injury, but
Can I throw you?
Sure,
might be
why
faster.
not?
I'll try to throw you closer.
Gotta go fast.
All
I
right.
feel like I should instead cast fly on you so that you can.
You have levitate and flight, by the way.
I know.
Borg sees Plink trying to struggle to run. Borg just grabs Plink, gets ready to aim. What do I roll?
I'm trying to find where I
Strength?
post that. rule.
Improvised weapon.
Well, no, I feel like that's if he's trying to like
I know
hit
this
the
is
other person with
Pathfinder.
you.
I'm like Borg's like, tell me who
Maybe
to hit,
roll.
who to aim for.
I feel like it would be
Well, actually, Borg can't
Nick
even
rolling
see
a
in the dark.
strength and then Jamie rolling like a
So
dex.
at disadvantage.
Yeah, so
Okay,
Borg can't even see. So it's like, just say like Borg sees like a hallway. It's like Plink is gonna throw you down the hallway.
What's your strength?
What's my strength?
What's Nick's strength?
My
Borg's
strength is a 4 or 18.
18?
Yep.
You can throw Plink 40 feet.
Actually, that would help a lot. That's like
Damn.
2 turns.
Yeah, that's
No,
If-
that's 4
far.
turns.
If you get a running throw, you can give her an additional distance.
We
Cool.
just need you to do 60 feet. Or I guess 55.
Well,
I
wherever,
can make the last
Depends on
10
if you want
feet.
him.
wherever Plink is, I will just
Oh.
throw. So I'm assuming it's just like where Camera Borg is.
Okay.
So like Zorus assuming moving out of the way if I want to get a running throw on this.
Are you gonna tell me you're throwing her?
Is it, I like get
Are you
neck.
gonna say out of the way?
I mean, I don't
Borg-
think it's
Borg-
gonna be quiet that he's picking up Plank.
He's like,
Nope.
all right, here we go. I announce I'm throwing.
Really quick, before Plink gets thrown, Plink does get protection from evil.
Okay. Good and evil. Got it.
Borg backs up through the hallway a little bit with
Okay.
Plink in hand and gets a slight running start to throw Plink as hard as he can from this spot.
Oh boy.
Check her like a football ball.
Okay,
Or
so Plink will
baseball.
travel 40 feet.
Just down the hallway as far as I can.
40 feet is. Oops.
And now Plink is at the base of the platform. I will say the cultists definitely did not expect no one to just come flying out of the dark.
I'm sorry.
No one expects
The-
an Elvish Inquisition.
Is all that I imagine like the sound of Plink landing, like Plink lands, and then all you hear and the all you hear is hello.
You hear just
Echoes.
a flash.
Jamie, you get a surprise attack.
Neat! I'm gonna do the most useful thing I could do in this particular instance to distract the cultist.
Okay.
I'm gonna dubstep him.
Excuse me.
Wait, no, that's not it. That's not the. Oh, I hit the wrong thunder.
I'm gonna dubstep him.
Dubstep.
That's pretty much what it does. 14 to hit. I hit the wrong button, guys.
You didn't have advantage because you're doing surprise, right?
Does Zorus want?
Oh.
Does Zorus want to throw?
Zorus is too big to throw.
Wow.
You're still rolling the wrong dice.
I'm
And-
fine.
Jamie,
Zarus
still the wrong
has
dice.
20
Hmm?
movement
Still the wrong
speed.
dice.
Oh, okay.
You have advantage, not damage.
Oh, I heard roll damage. Okay.
No, you have advantage.
That's
Advantage.
still
That's
wrong.
no
guys.
damage.
Oh, we're off to a great start. I'm sorry, guys.
Perfect.
I feel like
Awesome.
at this
Clicking
point,
these
Chris
boobies.
just needs to click that for Jamie at this point.
Did it work?
You'd hit.
Yeah. Now I roll the button.
Hey, it got better each time.
No.
Literally.
And the best part is he now has disadvantages to hit anything but me.
Yeah, I know.
Yee.
Ooh. That's definitely like a taunt
Jamie's a
move.
proper tank.
All right,
Yeah,
everybody,
I think
roll
so.
for initiative because that was a surprise round.
Hey,
Yee.
I wanted to see if that would work. At least first test of throwing Plink. Oh hey, dice. Oh hey, 8. Neat.
Wait, I actually rolled nice?
Nice.
Wait, why do I get?
Apparently no
Why?
valid tracker was selected, so I don't exist on the initiative.
Wait,
I can input your tracker stuff. but-
wait. Why does I get the roll dice and I don't see anyone else's dice? It's so
I
sad.
don't know. Why is Camera Borg on the initiative tracker? Who put him there?
Camera Borg is attacking.
Camera board
hell?
uses the help
Just-
action.
Just
What the
camera
hell, Borg?
Camera Borg is just like a god that's been following us around. It's like, you know what? I'll help these guys out this time.
Camera board is like a 2.
Almost all
Jamie, it's
initiatives. I
probably a
have
good
never
idea
rolled.
you rolled so high
Oh, what
considering
the
how
hell?
close you are.
I have never rolled really well on a lot of almost all the initiatives. I think I've rolled maybe once. I rolled a decent one.
Plink rolled really well on the initiative. What the fuck?
Yeah, well, you
don't
also
have
only have +1 to initiative, Nick, so it's not real high. I say that. I only have a +2.
What are you guys doing?
I got a +4, but I don't roll very well.
Dex is a very important stat.
My dex is not
I
bad.
wanted
You're fine.
strength.
Okay, mine's not bad,
You're
but
fine. I'm worried
yeah,
about
I just picked
Borg
up more in strength.
and Zorus, who both have unarmored defense, and that's one of the 2 stats that are important for that.
Hey, why would you need defense when you got big guns?
Because you're gonna die.
Hey, but
You're
I
so
can
One
dumb.
day,
also
guys.
use-
One day.
Anyways, Plink, you go yet again.
I probably should finally get healing spells.
I would
next
say-
next level.
I also have my wisdom modifier included in my defense.
How long until do you think the rest of the group actually catches up?
Probably
This-
3 turns.
It's gonna be 2 turns for Zars. Well, Zars only can move 20, but I can still hit him with a spell.
You could also make the dash
I
action.
can't.
and
I
double your
can't.
move.
I can't.
I was gonna say,
That's
do I
true.
need to move?
Zars can use a dash action. Well, if
Uh,
Zars dashes, that's
Janine, you don't technically need to move.
right there.
man.
I do not hit.
Eee.
But I tried.
You
A
still
for effort.
technically have the Thunder Gauntlet debuff on him, though.
Yep. Until the start of your next turn. So no.
Wow.
That's actually why I keep that descriptor on there, just in case.
I'm gonna count it just because of surprise round bullshit. Anyways, Morlock, who's also just surprised a gnome flew out of nowhere, realizes that Plink at least seems to be on his side. So he helps you out for the moment, though he does not say much at this time.
Well, he's kind of busy.
To say, isn't he in the middle of a death match?
Whee! Just pouring. I just really want to see Plink just animated, just going through a darkness and just comes out.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, that'd be so
Yep.
fun.
Wow, another 11. All right, Zarus, here you go.
Zars is. I'm assuming this is the skeleton. Wait, where's my?
The top guy, yeah.
This is a skeleton dude, right?
Why can
Perfect.
you guys not see the descriptors I put on them?
What?
No, we cannot.
Oh. Is that
They
what?
are invisible. Oh, there. Death's head of ball.
Yes, have about attack.
Oh, that helped a lot.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you guys couldn't see it.
I was wondering who we're attacking.
Death's head
That
of
reminds
ball.
me that I have labeled everybody, so I'll fix that.
Cool.
I am Borg. Oh, you have a name?
There.
Did you say you have a name?
I see Vendetta now.
Yeah, I'm fixing it. I
Okay.
didn't realize I had to fix that. There, now you all know who each other are.
I know.
Who's this Borg? Borg.
What are you doing, Zarus?
Forge.
Okay. Zarus moved 20 feet.
Mhm.
And he's gonna. I get. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. Cancel. Ray of Frost this dude,
Okay.
which is a range attack.
Yes.
Remind me
Yeah.
what I roll for a range attack.
Looks. I would assume your specific modifier detailed in your.
Charisma for Ray of Frost with
Yeah,
Levistus.
charisma is your spellcasting modifier plus your proficiency, so you get a +2.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know that one off the top of my head because I have a Levistus character.
Well, I thought it was that. Damn it.
Zarus does not hit, but Zarus also freezes the water in front of him.
Perfect. I can move farther now.
Here, I'll
I
draw,
can make an entrance by sliding.
draw a square for you.
Now we have poopsicles, guys.
Let me please.
I have made the difficult terrain even more difficult.
No, you've technically made an ice platform.
Perfect. Zarus is going to use that next turn.
Ice cake.
Sliding.
Anything else Zarus wants to do? Bonus action?
No.
Nothing? Okay.
I mean, I'm too far away to do my bonus actions. So.
Bonus
Okay.
actions.
Orin, what's your plan?
We're gonna vicious mockery this man.
Okay.
Man.
This man.
Do it.
And the vicious
Yes.
mockery will be the sound of death tolls.
Yeah.
He's already dead. He has to do a throw.
Wisdom save. Unfortunately, he also gets advantage.
Alright, he's one of these guys.
Which didn't
Oh.
help.
Is it wait, is it meat or
It's the
Get
ties
over
go
it.
to the defender.
okay, so he
So yeah, he beats you.
beats
Yes, he has magic resistance, which grants him advantage
If only Borg can
on
ramp.
saving throws.
and then I'm moving. Oops, that's the wrong button.
You're flying, so you can move your full movement speed.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't really want to.
Yeah, why get close when you can just sit here and scream and make him laugh and call him insults?
Right? Like I can do all my work from a distance.
Janine, any bonus actions?
We're gonna do give inspiration to Plink.
Plink, you're inspired.
Yee.
As a what is it? Tiny note for tiny bell appears next to Plink.
I got a notification.
A tiny little bell appears next to Plink and it's playing gnomish battle music.
What's gnomish battle music?
I assume it's Hobbit music.
Honestly would think it's something polka-y.
Polka music just starts playing in the middle of the battle.
Okay.
Boom, boom.
Let's go Borg.
So with mirthful leaps, does that mean I can add more distance with my normal walking?
Whenever you roll, but technically no. That just means you can use the jump action and add a d8 of distance to it.
What's my jump?
Jump.
How far is my jump?
Nobody uses jump. Why would I know that off the top of my head?
Actually,
I was curious.
it's a good question.
Yeah, we really don't use jump very often, do we?
Yeah,
don't.
it's
It has
a
its
little more
uses.
obscure. It does have its uses, but not
Your
in
strength
normal.
determines how far you can jump.
Hey,
For long jumps, when you make a long jump, you cover a number of feet up to your strength score. If you move at least 10 feet on foot immediately before the jump, when you make a standing long jump, you can only leap half the distance. Either way, each foot you clear on the jump costs a foot of movement. So you can't move a distance. You can't jump outside of your distance range
Okay.
that you could normally travel.
Okay.
You, however, get the freedom to do a +8 to it, but I don't know if that technically counts. You, however, also fail to neglect that you're in a cavern with a foot of clearance above your head.
Yeah, no, I was just curious about the merciful leap is all.
Just wham your head right into the
If
ceiling.
you want distance, just take the dash action.
Dash Ashkin.
It just doubles your standard movement.
I tell
it uses up your full turn though.
I tell Vendetta to
Stay there.
wait by Orin.
Okay.
And then I dash.
Probably smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I dash. How far?
You technically get 70, so you'd be able to move 35 feet.
So right up there. Got it. See a giant 7-foot barbarian just coming from the darkness.
That's not horrifying.
That is horrifying. That is actually pretty scary, especially Satyr.
Yeah, just emerging
boom,
from the darkness.
If this guy had a face, you're almost certain he'd probably be afraid at this point, considering
What
the
the
shit he just realized he's in. Not the literal shit he's standing in, by the way. Anyways, it's his turn. Let's see. Borg, make a wisdom save for me.
So, what do I click for wisdom save?
Click
Oh.
the wisdom in your save category.
Is this an attack?
Wisdom in your save.
It's technically an attack,
Yeah, that's true.
He has disadvantage.
but it's Borg having to make a save. It's not that type of attack.
If he has to roll, he has disadvantage.
Borg, you are stunned.
Eh?
As he
Uh-oh.
does, the Ghost Rider stares into your soul with the socketless eyes as you are gripped with fear. Technically, it's just stunned, so it's not even feared. You're just like, oh shit, what the fuck?
I can't move.
That's not normal.
Anyways, then he attacks Plink with a bunch of dagger attacks. All at disadvantage because you have protection from good and evil.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
You forgot about that, but I didn't.
That's mean.
Yeah, I love protection. It's such a great spell.
Especially paired with the gauntlets.
Yeah.
Well, you can't double stack disadvantage.
No, but
No.
he has disadvantage either way.
Yeah, I know.
That's mean.
First one fails to hit Plink. Second one also fails to hit Plink. Plink is fine.
Oh my god, he has a +7.
Yes.
Blink a dink dink.
Yes. Plink, you're fine.
Yay!
Borg, you are unfortunately stunned for the next turn.
Eh?
And that's my turn. Plink, you're back up.
Wait. He needs a high five.
Damn it, that's not what I wanted to
I
do.
know I do that too all the time, Alyssa. It's okay. Thunder Gauntlet
13.
No.
fails to hit.
But he is done with his disadvantage.
At least from the Thunder Gauntlets.
Yes.
Any bonus action you want to take? You have your armor thing back up.
I could give myself +3 to temporary hit points.
Okay.
Wait, +3? I think it may be +2.
I thought it was a 3.
Mm.
Well, Jamie figures out the actual number. Mortlock's gonna swing his great club at the guy. First one fails to hit. Second one does hit. Nice. And I roll.
Yep, 3 because it's equal to my level in my class.
It is. I want to say Zarus' turn, right? Sorry, sure go.
Yeah, it is my turn. Perfect. Well, Aris gonna
Slide.
come in all cool, like sliding
Slide
on
like
the
an action hero across
ice.
the car.
Is that that performance or acrobatics?
I'm
Yeah.
sliding in, and he's
Yeah,
gonna.
roll acrobatics for me.
Oh, damn it! I don't have acrobatics.
Oh no, it's mostly ice terrain issues.
Yeah.
Zarus looks cool as fuck.
Yeah.
sliding
Yeah.
down sliding down his ice.
Perfect.
Alright.
And then he's gonna just punch him in the face.
It's
I
your
believe
weaponry.
that's this one.
Yep. You'd hit.
Sweet. I do damage. If it loads.
Okay, 6.
Perfect. And I'm gonna use my bonus action to punch him in the face again.
As one does.
Strike 2.
You do not hit that second one.
You always gotta punch
Damn.
people in the face.
Yeah.
Only proper way to do things.
Why can't you just punch him in the dick?
He's got a
think that-
skull for a face. Come on, that's a punchable object.
That is a very
Yeah.
punchable object.
And considering how tall Zarus is, it's easier to punch people in the face than the dick.
Anyways, Orin,
Yeah.
what's your plan?
My
Jamie, I forgot you was
plan.
inspired.
Huh?
I forgot Jamie was inspired.
Yeah.
I forgot I
There's
was
still polka
inspired
music
too.
going. There's still polka music going.
That's why she hasn't used yet because she's jamming to the music.
While giving high fives.
The annoying thing is he's
Resistant to magic.
yeah.
You got anything you can throw on other people?
Not really. Most of my things are for like
Janine,
personal themselves.
you have a really mean spell on your object.
Am I allowed to cast? I thought I could only do one spell at a time.
I thought it was one spell per.
An instrument of the bird.
Well, I think it depends if the spell involves concentration for a
Once
certain
the instrument
time.
has been used to cast a spell, it can't be used to cast. Oh, that spell again. Okay, so I've not been reading that correctly this entire time. Never mind. Okay. As I try to remember what the fudge each of these. Clearly, I cast animal friendship. No. Kidding. There. I
You
don't
know,
know what
one
spiders
really mean one. And it starts with an I.
Invisibility?
Implode.
Invisibility is really mean in this system. Janine, do you not know what invisibility does?
No. Give me a sec. Looking it up right now.
Invisibility. It's a touch spell. A creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible as long as the target's on the target's person. The spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell. However, if you cannot see someone because they're invisible, and you try to
cannot
attack
touch.
them, you just have a chance to not even hit them.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They could land the attack, but they could be attacking in the wrong direction.
Okay, let's see. I have what is my movement even?
Like 30.
Yep, 30.
Say 30 is the most common.
I could make it to you guys.
I don't know. It's up to you. I like invisibility because it's funny.
That is how you get into trouble.
Mm.
You know what? Fine. Orin goes up. Invisibility on Zarus. Because that just sounds like it'll go amazing.
Okay. Any other bonus action you want to take?
Inspiration on Borg.
Okay.
I'm currently
Borg.
just standing still.
You are inspired. Borg is also still stunned, yeah.
Oh, right. I forgot he was stunned.
Hello.
That's because he's so stunning.
I don't think I've got like anything that would resin from
I
that.
do get all
anyways.
the ladies.
Alright, Borg. Just like in Uno, we're passing your turn.
No, it's mean.
Let's
Sorry,
skip.
just as a quick side note, while Borg is still stunned, the inspiration looks like birds that are circling around his head.
That's great.
Alright, Death's Head's turn. Let's see. Who do I want to be mean to? Let's roll a d4 to find out.
This is why I don't get up close.
Plink, make a wisdom save.
What wisdom save?
I don't know. I think you have advantage on it.
If it's against magic, I do.
Just because you have protection from good and evil too.
I'm also a gnome.
Do you have resistance against magic?
Yee.
Well, you passed.
Didn't even use advantage.
Double
Yeah.
pass.
Well, since you're not stunned, he's still gonna attack you.
It's a gnome thing.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, what?
Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
That's really
That's a
bad.
20 right there.
It's really bad.
It's a good thing that
Yeah.
you passed
No,
that
I'm good.
save.
Yeah, he did. Now you can heal after his turn.
Maybe.
Please don't tell me you're going to one-shot KO or.
I don't know. These are daggers. They don't do all that much.
Except pierce your heart.
Shush.
Except for stab us in the back.
Okay, let's see. It's a 9. The critical technically adds up to a 13. Plus 6. 19. Now here's the really unfortunate problem.
I have.
Aura of Murder. As long as the Death's Head is not incapacitated, hostile creatures within 5 feet of it gain vulnerability to piercing damage, unless they have resistance or immunity to such damage.
Oof.
I do not yet.
Borg's the only one that has resistance.
What, do piercing damage?
Yeah.
Do I really
So-
only have resistance? I thought
When you're raging.
Yeah.
So not only did I crit, but all that damage is doubled.
Oh god. Jamie.
Oh, gee. I have 3 temporary hit points, guys, so that helps.
Wait, but since she passed the save, shouldn't that have it?
No.
that's the stunning gaze. That just stuns her.
Other thing. Okay, never mind.
That's
then.
another thing.
He just makes 2 melee attacks with daggers. I didn't expect to crit.
Yeah.
Crit happens, guys. Crit happens.
So you take 9, 13, is technically 26.
Wait, I have a question. Did you roll with disadvantage?
Oh, you're right.
Oh boy, Plink, don't die.
We'll keep the damage numbers, but we'll roll with disadvantage.
Wait, why are you rolling with
As
disadvantage?
she still has
Protection
protection.
from good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
That's still
Oh,
up.
that's
Still
right.
going for another couple rounds.
Okay, so I do miss.
Woo! That spell saved the day.
Well,
Sorry,
that's
Orin
at
MVP.
first I was like taking the original. I didn't realize it was 2 different daggers. I was like, oh, okay, you rolled with disadvantage. No.
No, I will admit. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, I just saw the 20 and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that would have. I think the total damage number there was 38, 36 or
Yeah.
something, which would
Yeah,
have
that
one shot
would've-
Plink.
Yeah,
Oh my
at
God.
33, yes. I would have been
so
down.
literally Janine just
Yeah,
saved
we don't
Plink's
have
life.
a lot of health this low.
Okay.
Good
So,
job, Janine. You actually planned
Getting
ahead.
past that heart attack, Plink.
Janine,
How much damage did Plink
Blink still
take?
takes damage, but
No, Plink dodged because both disadvantage rolls are fine.
what's
Because I forgot to roll disadvantage, but I rolled the original 2 attacks, but I didn't roll their disadvantage numbers.
Orin MVP.
So Plink's AC is 19, so a 19 and 18
okay, yeah,
won't
never
hit her.
mind. Good.
Oh my God.
I'll
I
not
did that.
understand that.
I did a infusion to up my AC.
I miss the days of having 19 AC.
I miss the days
have
of having
19?
more
You
health.
had
I had a
19?
character. I had a character that had
19 now.
19 AC.
I
Yeah,
only have
Plink has
13.
19 AC.
And
Was
that
it
is why
good?
Plink is the wall.
I think
Yep.
trolls can.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Holy shit. What are with all the 20s?
Do
I
it.
guess Jamie's tonight is the
I rolled
lucky
twice,
one.
right?
I think
You
Jamie's the
roll your
lucky one
damage
tonight.
die twice, but your modifier is only applied once.
Yes.
There. No, it's automatically tracked when you roll.
Oh.
No, never mind. You didn't put the tracker in for that damage.
Oh.
No,
How
wait.
It-
Hold on.
Eh? What did I do, guys?
I don't know.
I
trying to
don't
think.
Chris
know.
figured it
I
out.
really don't know.
Okay, so the top one is the right roll. That's your damage roll plus the D8 additional, which somehow rolled a 2.
Okay.
So you do 13 damage.
Yee. Plus he has disadvantage again.
Unfortunately, he also uses his thrice per day ability
Oh no.
and takes no damage.
Oh.
What?
Does that count as a hit or not?
It still counts as a hit, yes.
Then he is still at disadvantage.
He's also the boss of the dungeon. He's a lot of things.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
That's why.
No wonder we were having a hard
It's
time.
so hard.
I mean, yeah,
That-
I'd figure since he's, the head of a god. So.
He's a god?
No, he's the leader of the.
He's giving a head to a god?
Whoa.
No. Oh my God.
PG-13, dude.
That's a lot of teeth.
He's the head of a cult who worships the death god.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Ball's the
As
god
people
of murder,
should.
so.
You're gonna have to simplify it for Borg, alright?
Alright,
He only went to
Marlock's gonna-
Are we
elementary school.
explaining to Borg or to Nick?
Hey, I went to middle
Yes.
school. Borg went to elementary school.
Borg didn't even go to school. What are you talking about?
That's true, actually.
Okay, Morlock swings twice for the fences, but fails to hit anything. Cyrus, you're invisible. What do you do?
I punch him.
Okay, you'll
I
get
don't know what
advantage
else you
because
want me to
you're
say.
technically attacking from a.
Sneaky sneak.
Yeah. So the first one would hit. even without rolling advantage.
Oh, I'm getting advantage?
Yeah, because you're attacking from invisibility.
Oh, cool.
You roll
So
for
that's
the advantage.
the second one.
You'd hit the
Ooh.
24.
So that hits. Sweet.
Okay. I think that's your round.
Perfect. That's my turn.
Orin.
Orin is backing up because I don't being that
You don't
close.
want to be close to that anymore.
No.
I don't like to be close to people. Also, we've got our person back there.
I'm
so-
aware of where she is.
I
She's,
know
like, at
you
the
are.
very end
Are
of
the
the
rest of
hall.
us aware of that?
I don't know. You were supposed to be watching her.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going back so that I'm continuing to watch her. And then we're doing
I need to keep
Davies.
Davies.
Okay.
Davies.
Like Da Vinci.
I don't know why it rolls the DC.
It doesn't roll the DC. It just gives.
It takes a minute to
Oh.
load, which means it's trying to roll a number that's auto-generated.
Is it not talking about the fact that it has to roll the
That's psychic
Damage?
damage? Yes. He's passing. I'm sorry, I can't help that.
How dare you, Chris?
I can't help
How
that.
dare you?
I don't know why all of these guys are designed against magical damage.
Yeah.
Honestly, though,
I think
apparently
this was. I'm sorry.
apparently I should have created a character that wasn't relying on you to roll the things and just relied on me to roll the things. I feel like that would have been better.
The weird problem is if you weren't rolling on their DCs, on their saves, you'd be fine with magic damage.
Yeah.
It's the weird part.
It's more the dungeon itself than anything you are doing.
Yeah, it's a theme of the dungeon. Is there's a lot of
But
resist.
also the fact that Chris rolls high.
That is not working in our favor. No.
Our
Yeah.
Jesus does not
That's
favor
what
the
I was
party.
talking about. I was like, I should have just done something where I rolled the dice instead of where Chris was rolling.
All right, Borg. Borg, you're inspired. You're ready to
You are
go.
no longer stunned.
It changes from my
No, you're still
part
stunning.
around.
Someone give him a pep talk.
Borg,
Punch him.
you went down. Now you better make up for it. Also, all of this is said in oh god, whatever the Fey
Sylvan.
tongue is in Sylvan. So it sounds really eloquent to like everybody else.
That's true. Borg can understand Sylvan.
Oh yeah, I forgot I was
can he?
muted.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, I forgot I was muted. Sorry. Can I move?
Wow.
Yeah, you can move.
It
Also,
is
I
your
can
turn.
understand everything Orin was saying. I was wondering why my icon was not moving. Okay, cool. Can I move up to? I should be able to move 15, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Borg goes up, right in its face.
On top of Zorus.
Do you like push me out of the way? What's going on?
You know, you could have just stood between Plink and Mortlock. Right?
Yeah, I could go right between Plink and Motlock right there. I do my rage because I got stunned. So
roll on your wild rage, I guess.
That's
Oh,
like
yeah,
it's
the
just a
wild
D8,
magic.
right?
Yes.
I told. Let's see. The D8-2 is you teleport up to 30 feet to unoccupied space you can see until your rage ends. You can use this effect again on each turn you do the bonus action.
Oh god. Borg's just popping in and out of existence.
Instant transmission, this baby. Instant transmission, this baby.
Or teleports behind him. Meme.
Can I teleport behind him?
Yeah, it says you're allowed to move.
All right, so
Anywhere in 30 feet.
I mean, okay. Can I do like a can my ram push him away potentially?
Does it say it has a push mechanic?
No. It just does
Then
hold.
no.
Ah, dang it.
You just have to have a specific thing for that.
Alright, next I want to get something like that later. But for now, I get teleport right behind him and Axe of Rage.
Okay.
Just teleporting around.
Huzzah! That's one of my worst rolls I ever rolled on my Great Axe.
Oh wow. Yeah, and you have a +6 to that too.
Wait, what?
Well,
That should be a
I can't do much.
+8. What?
Should be
How
a
did that-
+8 for rage.
Yeah, because his base attack's a +6. I thought I had that fixed.
Oh, you're right,
Apparently
because his
not.
strength is 4 and his proficiency is 2.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure what happened.
I was in 6 feet of the computer. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Yeah,
Try to stay away from your computer. Does your computer have COVID?
Okay, Nick,
Oh,
try again now.
Possibly.
Try again.
Okay.
Got the right roll.
Borg
time.
teleports right behind. We repeat this again. Great Axe of Rage. Again.
Still not.
Still bad.
Yeah.
Well, same thing happens. Nothing happens.
Oh, yeah. Borg try hard. Borg tired.
We're tired.
Borg teleport.
Borg was not anticipating the teleport.
Mm-mm. I was anticipating something else.
I did fix your thing, Borg.
Thank you.
Anyways, let's see. D4 again. Orin, make a wisdom save.
What? I need to make a wisdom save.
Yes.
How the
I'm glad that it's not a civilian has to make a wisdom save.
Why do you think it's a D4? Well, you're
Ooh.
fine.
Yeah, everyone's fine with rolling except Borg.
But wisdom's
I have
hard.
to do it.
I just got lucky in the fact that I had advantage.
Yeah, you have advantage because you're smart.
No, not smart. Gnome.
No.
Smart Norm.
I almost made the joke. No, the reason why she gets advantage on wisdom saving throws is because she's so dumb that she doesn't even understand the wisdom.
Jamie, odd or even?
Even. I know I'm
Nick.
odd, but
Nick, your odds.
Cool.
Nick, I'm sorry.
Cool.
oh,
Thank you, Jamie.
did I do bad?
Thank you, Jamie.
No, but it's being hacked.
How much damage do I get?
See?
Nick, what's your AC again?
It's the lowest of the group. Not the lowest. I will guess Lauren. Whatever. You hit no matter
14,
what.
You get hit by both.
Yeah, hit by both.
Doesn't he roll disadvantage because he's attacking someone besides Jamie?
Yes.
And plus,
Yes.
I have I can resist the piercing.
True.
Well, piercing is for damage. It's not for hitting.
Yep.
No, he resists the fact that it's grants vulnerability because he has resistance, so it cancels out. So Borg just takes normal damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Borg
hit. The
gets-
second one hits.
Borg gets it. That's still a disadvantage, but the first disadvantage was 19, so you still get hit.
Okay. How much do I get hit?
I don't know. Let me roll.
I don't know. I'm just waiting, man.
6 damage.
Oh boy! Borg just got hit.
Why is Borg the only one that ever seems to take damage?
Why does Borg have to deal with all this crap? I
This
threw Plink.
Borg keeps running forward.
Plink got there first.
I would say, yeah, Zorus is definitely a front runner, so.
Plink
I'm
got there
sorry,
first
he just
too.
teleported. It was either the flying gnome or the teleporting satyr.
These guys are thinking they're going nuts.
Zarus is just kind of the distant third in the problem.
Zorus is third wheels.
Plink.
Yee?
do the things.
I know I am kind of rinse and repeat, but it is a good strategy making sure to protect the party.
You
That's
know.
how it works when you're just basic attacking, and that's kind of your bread and butter. Get
Yee.
hit.
See, I think Jamie just
I mean,
gets the
I
good
use
rolls
the
for this session.
6.
I get the bad rolls.
Nick, I'll tell you again, you can still attack recklessly whenever you want. Any bonus action, Jamie?
I can't. Wait, I can't. I don't have any bonus actions I can do.
I know I could do
That's-
reckless, but this guy tough.
What round are we at?
5.
Okay.
Now we're at round 6.
Uh.
Are you referencing something wearing off?
Yeah. I just need to know when it hits 10.
Because the protection drops.
Yep.
Is it every 5 seconds have passed, right?
6.
6 seconds? Okay, yeah, 10.
It's 6 seconds, but for spells, because it's considered extreme, like an extreme time, it doesn't take the full time. Instead, every minute is equal to a round.
Yep.
What? For spells?
Did you just say really?
No, I said yep.
No, Chris.
What? What?
For spells,
How long is protection last?
10 minutes.
Then it would last 600 seconds.
Really? I've always had it that, like, I've always been told that in combat, it's a minute equals to a round when it comes to spell.
Who's saying
Spell
this?
duration.
Who told you this?
Who told you this
Multiple different
nonsense?
DMs.
A round is 6 seconds, so a round
Yeah.
is 6 seconds for all universal things. So a 10-minute spell
Am I
lasts
merging?
100 rounds,
Am I merging systems again?
probably.
You probably are.
Probably. Okay.
I do that
probably
too.
how
60 rounds,
different
something like that.
DMs like to play and keep track of time.
It's
Right.
good. We need those 100 rounds because we probably will die if that
But
didn't
I
happen.
think it's 60, not 100, but it's a lot of time.
I gotta
Yeah,
remember.
never mind then. Ignore me. Ignore me because I.
Oh no, it's good to check. No worries, you're good.
So we're on
10 minutes if you're in combat for 10 minutes, you already have a problem.
That's true.
Wait, Chris, are we on round 6 or are we past round 6?
You've been raging for all of 1 round, Nick. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, cool. So I have 9 more rounds to go through. Got it.
So soft.
At some point, I'll figure out how to do a counter. Morlock goes.
Can probably put it on screen.
He'd hit once. Does 8 damage. Okay. Cyrus, you're up.
I punch him in the face.
Wow.
Everyone's just getting good rolls. Borg is just sucky.
I'm
Wait.
sorry.
That's not what I wanted to do. There we go.
Okay.
And then I think I'll spend a key point and do Fury of Blows,
Okay.
which is just 2 more.
Oh, God. Lissa, you
That
really
hit?
only roll like 2 numbers.
Oh, well, that
There
one
it is.
did
There it is.
Just because you said that, Chris, I rolled low.
It's like the
You rolled your
roll
own
20 was
number.
like, oh, there's only one number Alyssa rolls. Wait a minute. Chris is right. Gotta roll low.
Gotta show you that the dice aren't weighted.
Orin, you're up.
Already.
This is Mercury.
Yeah, the Vicious.
Sorry.
Yes.
At some point, it's not even going to make sense what you're saying.
Soon she will say her
No,
own
but you
language.
guys will understand it. That's all that's important.
Slowly slurs to it. Like,
It just keeps dissolving.
it just slowly
mumbling
just
sounds.
slowly just goes
All right,
lower.
he's fine.
It's just D's and B's.
Any other bonus actions you want to take?
No, they've still got their inspiration floating.
Yeah, Borg.
Oh, that's a thing. Right.
Yeah.
I can
It
use
is
the
a
thing.
Give me a
Borg.
second. I'm
Yeah,
reading
you don't
my
have
wild
inspiration.
surges. I'm just thinking.
You can teleport again.
Yeah, but
You'd
I
have
can't.
to react.
I
You'd have to
can't hit
reactivate
anything
rage.
range.
You don't have to teleport though.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Or you can just teleport to the other side again.
Yeah, the teleport is a bonus action you can take, Nick. You don't have to be
Oh, that looks
teleported.
so. That's so cool. If I get a 3.
Nick, it's your turn.
I'm reading. I'm reading. Borg's reading a book. Give me a second.
Stop reading the turn.
Borg's got
This may
glasses
take a while,
on. It's like
Borg.
rifling
Borg's
through a
not used to
book.
reading.
Borg, remember you have inspiration.
What does that mean?
Oh, that thing.
That means you can add a D4 to your attack.
Cool.
I feel like you can add that like after the fact too.
I turn off my rage and re-rage again, so I use one more rage just to roll another D8.
Are you serious?
I can.
Why?
No, I don't think you can turn off your rage and reactivate it.
In the same
I can
turn.
turn off
In the same turn? Probably not.
I think it's an action to turn it off.
Let me see.
I feel like most things probably are.
Rage, rage, rage.
Yeah, you can also end your rage as your bonus action, but you could not take a second bonus action.
Okay,
to
never mind
reactivate
then.
it.
All right, never mind then.
That's-
So you can end your range and hit him with a normal attack if you wanted to.
Nah, I'll just keep my rage because it helps with piercing.
I was gonna say, remember, the rage is also keeping you from not being gutted.
Yep.
Yeah.
I teleport
that
right.
too.
I right to the side of him, and I do
Teleporting around him in a circle.
what? Well, how do
I
I?
am here. No, I am here.
How do I add?
We just appreciate that technically polka music is still going.
No, roll your attack, Nick.
Yeah. How do you add the modifier?
Just roll your attack.
Okay.
There we go.
Now roll a d4.
/D4. Oh, wait, that's not it. RD4. At the way.
/R space d4. There you go.
/RD4.
Yeah, you already rolled it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
rolled it correctly.
That's what I did. Yeah. Now just
So Nick technically hits with the 30, even though he would hit with the 27, but he also wants the extra damage that Janine's inspiration gives.
Yeah.
So do I actually roll my attack now?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a
I mean, if
beautiful.
27 doesn't hit in the system, I'm fucking with you guys. So Nick does 14 damage.
Plus.
Yeah, plus 3.
Yes.
Jesus.
And he is
I
still
mean, it's not my
standing.
turn, so.
He's somehow still standing.
Borg just teleports.
Teleports behind. Borg already teleported this turn.
No, I could just like. Oh, I guess I could.
No, it's your bonus action. You can't keep teleporting in your turn.
Wah. Wah. I want to keep teleporting. Into
Nick, you could have done it
transmission,
after
baby.
you attacked. Bonus actions can be taken before or after your action. In the future, please remember that.
I will never remember that.
Probably not.
She just wants to keep teleporting.
I just want to keep teleporting at this point.
Alright, well, Death Head. Roll a d4.
Is it
I love
Zorus
how he
this
has
time?
the lowest initiative.
Is it Zorus finally?
Does have the lowest initiative. No, it's Borg again.
Ah, wait, am I 4? I thought I was 1.
No, it's in your order of
No,
initiative.
Plink. Yeah.
Eh.
Plink was
Plink's
1.
1, Zara's 2, 3, Orin, 4, Borg.
Oh, there we go. I got that. Wisdom save. Let me get that stun, baby. Let me get that stun. Never mind.
You're fine. Odds are even, Nick.
I guess because Jamie gave me odd, I guess I'll go odd.
Jamie, you're getting attacked.
When am I getting attacked?
Well, that's a good thing considering you have the buff.
Yeah.
Alright.
And
It doesn't matter. He misses both of those.
Oh yeah, he misses those, but I get attacked. Good job. Everyone doesn't get an attack. Gets attacked.
Plink, you're up.
Technically, I'm down, but that's because I'm short.
Really?
You are still standing in the water, and he is on the raised platform.
Punching him in the
It
ass.
makes it even better.
Plink's just
Just
tapping his
punching his
ankle.
kneecaps.
Plink is just
Pretty much,
punching in between the knees.
pretty much just hopping up and just slug bugging his knee, his ankle.
Punch bug, punch back.
Picture this gnome just jumping. Every
Oh,
time you jump, you punch him.
Oh my god.
Holy shit, Jamie!
Do it.
Is that your second nat 20?
Yes.
Wow, you rolled a 1 on your crit damage.
Oh,
There's the bad rolls.
But on the bright side, I hit.
that's
You
true.
really hit.
I'm
I-
just slapping his toes and ankles, guys. I'm doing good. I'm doing a good job.
On the
Jamie,
brightest-
considering the fact that last session you barely even got to hit anything and you just became a wall, I think this is like making up for all the effect.
On the brighter side, Plink zaps him into ash.
Oh, really?
I moved his toe and he
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah, he did. Plink just goes whoop, and he just disintegrates.
Wow, that
From
was a lot
technology.
faster battle than I was expecting.
Because I found his weakness. It was his big toe.
It was a 7-round fight.
I was still short.
You didn't have any friends that had high AC, so I guess your biggest problem is high AC value.
Yeah, I guess so.
Was I the only one who ever got damaged in that entire fight?
Yes,
God dang it.
you were.
God dang it.
I was gonna say, I don't think Zorus ever got attacked.
I got
I feel like
stunned.
Plink.
I
thought
got
Plink
attacked.
took some damage.
I got like
No,
teleportation
almost.
powers while all my other
Plink
ones were
getting-
working. Sucks. It sucks.
Oh right, that wasn't a save. That was a Okay, never mind.
You
Yeah.
still need to.
No, Orin is
Plink almost
MVP.
got KO, but then he had disadvantage, so.
But still, you
Orin
need
is MVP.
And
Okay.
I'm
So.
heading off because it's already.
What's wrong?
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
it's
sorry,
10:30.
Brandy.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I'm
So,
glad we were able to finish
Orin's-
the battle.
Right? I wanted to stick around for the end of the battle. So I guess Orin just plays fitting music for the rest of the evening.
Do you want me to finish the dungeon, or do you want to be here to finish the dungeon?
I'll leave that up to the rest of the players. I'm
Let's
fine
wait.
either way.
Okay.
Let's wait, because that way Orin gets proper access to goodies.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure, to be fair. Because there could
I
be
mean-
goodies hiding around.
That's fair.
Underneath the poo water.
Underneath the poo water, someone flushed their diamond ring of enchantment.
I mean, whatever these chests over here are above the poo water, so you know.
Might be
On the
good.
right side, we didn't get pruny from poo water overnight.
Poo
You're
water?
not even wet.
Hmm?
You're in a sealed suit. You're not even wet.
But it's on my face. And in my hair.
I didn't even realize you were in a suit.
I don't think your hair or your face are gonna get pruny from the amount of water it was exposed to.
Unless you just dip your head in the water the entire time.
Yes.
Oh,
Technically,
God.
Chris is right. Plink is.
Plink's encased in armor.
It is actually sealed completely from water as well as any outside stuff.
So the
So
only
your
Plink's
person,
just complaining to complain.
Null and void.
the only people that would get affected is Borg and Zorus.
Yep.
Like, but you get all pruny.
Anyways, it was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Another
And now-
battle down.
And now that I figured out why I wasn't as beefy as I should be, I fixed it. I figured out that I have not been using my infusions at all.
Well, now you can use them often.
And I could use them on other people too.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we can give everybody weird buffs.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Like returning.
Yeah, Alyssa. Your weapons finally returned to you.
I'm returning.
What? What's going on with
I
weapons?
could infuse one of your weapons with returning, so when you throw it, it comes back to you.
Like a boomerang. That sounds cool.
Maybe they'll finally be loyal.
Hey, you leave my axe out of this.
Yeah.
We ain't talking about the axe.
Is returning a chastity belt for weapons?
Jamie.
I'm so lost.
Jamie.
I am so confused.
Jamie.
What?
Don't discipline Alyssa's weapons without her.
Without her permission, which most of the time would be like, you can discipline my axe.
This is conversation.
It's been a
I'm
weird
so
one.
confused.
Janine left at a weird time.
Janine left that completely.
She left at the right time. I would check that.
Left at the right time, the wrong time. She needs to add more to this conversation. I want to hear more of her rants and D&D stories.
Yeah. So we finally cleared the dungeon, I guess.
It
Basically.
took. When would we start this dungeon? Session 6 or something?
It took a
Session 6
freaking
back
long
in like
time.
August or July.
It took us 5 months, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, considering all the hiatuses we went on.
Work stuff's happened.
This dungeon wasn't hard. It was just that hiatus has happened.
And the
wasn't
dungeon was
hard.
hard.
It wasn't
Yeah, I
hard,
would
it was
say it was
RNG.
This was weird for a. This is for a level 2 party.
I can look that up, by the way. See what the internet says about it.
I think there were weird moments where what should have been easy was really hard because we were rolling shit. And
That's
then,
true.
like, this boss battle, I would consider pretty easy, but we were rolling, like, nat 20. So,
I think part of it is just the saves, because a lot of the debuffs were being taken off with the advantage/disadvantage.
yeah, the disadvantages and all of that. Yeah, because that saved you a ton, Roman.
Oh yeah.
It didn't say
There's a
4.
reason why I use my gauntlet so much, is because that disadvantage is really good for the party.
It is if it hits, which for the most of the time in the dungeon, you never got to hit except for the final boss, where you almost hit every single one of your gauntlets.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. It actually hit.
Yeah, and Borg just was there.
He's teleporting around, becoming a distraction. Iris was just punching him in the face, his non-existent face.
I wish I
You know
was a
what?
better distraction.
Meanwhile, we got this Baldur's Gate noble going, what the hell's going on with this nonsense? What is this? What are you
What?
people doing?
What is this? What is that? What is this? What is that? He's teleporting around.
Let's see.
It's a very chaotic party.
Mm-hmm.
How many rows did I do?
I don't know. I'm just happy Zorus was able to slide in all cool on the ice he accidentally made and not roll a nat 1 and fall on his face.
I was happy that enough I got to even throw Plink at all.
It's a pretty good strategy, honestly.
It's like Borg just like sees Plink struggling. Borg's like, all right, you want to go down the hall? Here we go.
Yeah, no, that's actually a pretty decent strategy to overcome the issue with
Movement,
Uh,
yeah.
movement, because that is the one that is Plink's Achilles heel. It's not being able to move as fast as the rest of the team.
Well, just
Especially
Yeah,
Borg.
Zorus has the fastest movement.
well,
in
if
the
you
game right now.
if you need to go the distance, just ask Borg, and he will throw you whichever direction as long as you can see it.
He's going the distance.
This is like Plink is like, we need to climb a giant cliff, and just like Plink is like, grab Plink, right throws over the wall.
I have a fun idea to do, and it's gonna be great.
Plink
I
is
just
like,
need to find. I just need to find an item.
Plink, it's just like enemy forces are coming in an army. It's like Plink, All right, Plink, let's go. Throws you at the general, right in the face.
It becomes like a cannonball or something.
Yeah, Plink becomes a cannonball. It's like we like light Plink on fire through the armor, like cover it in like oil. Plink goes on fire, or just throws fireball.
That actually might hurt
Like on
Blink though.
fire.
But you know what else is fun?
What?
Spikes. Spike armor's still a thing.
We can buy
Yeah,
spike
it
armor
is.
once we finally are out.
That's right. We were talking about all the stuff we were gonna get when we were finally out of this friggin' dungeon.
We've been talking about it for like a long time, but we've been in
Yeah.
this dungeon for a very long time.
Because
And I mean, we defeated the boss, but there's still stuff to explore, like these chests over here. I hope there's not a mimic. I hate mimics.
Is Chris that evil though?
did you hear about the new rules for mimics?
I'm using whatever is in the
No.
book.
There are new mechanics for mimics, especially with mimic colonies.
Uh-oh.
I was gonna say, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Like,
Yes.
It could be neutral. It depends on the mimic, but you could have whole towns made out of mimics.
Oh.
Mimic.
cool. Oh
Whole
my
houses
god.
made out of
really?
mimics.
Yep.
Houses made out of mimics?
Holy shit, man. I mean, that's kind of cool. That makes for a lot of more diverse stuff. But oh man, I would. That's not
Yeah.
something I want
By
to
the
come
way,
across.
I'll point out, the boss of that dungeon's AC are 5.
What are we?
3.
Yeah, you're not that strong. The CR of a party is your levels combined divided by your
Number of
numbers.
players.
number. Yeah, so do 3.
So we 2 levels.
Remember that it's supposed to be done by level 2s.
That's what I was saying about this can't be for level 2s. It's
Also, the one character that Nick snapped the neck of also had the same ability of going straight through resistance.
Wow, so
Yeah.
we avoided probably a pretty big fight with by just
Oh, and if you had
immediately
brought her to
killing
the
him.
final boss room, she would have attacked you there.
Borg
So you
just
would have had 2 different people ready to murder the fuck out of you.
Oh yeah, no. So we got lucky.
so
Yeah.
so Borg basically murdered a cult old woman before she even got to do anything, and Plink just electrocuted the head of a god to death, literally.
By mashing his pinky toe.
He's the head of a cult, not a god.
Head of a cult, yeah. I mean, Zorus was there to beat it, but I think Plink at this point was like doing the most damage.
Yeah, thundering isn't actually like lightning. Lightning damage is its own thing. Thundering is like it's pretty much like Sonic.
Yeah.
It was also
Yeah, Zarth was just doing bludgeoning.
it was
To be fair, the guy wasn't technically alive, considering he was missing his face.
I mean, it was just one of those things that it was a good thing that Plink got surprise advantage.
That helped a lot.
Just a reminder that Descent into Avernus, we haven't even gotten into Avernus.
We haven't even hinted at Avernus.
Who's Avernus?
Avernus is hell.
It's a
the
realm.
It's
of
the top
realm.
floor of hell.
Oh. I did not know
Pretty
that.
much, it's the tea room.
There's the 9 layers of hell. Avernus is the top layer.
Oh.
It's the tea room where everybody hangs out and chills. And they entertain guests.
Grr.
Yeah,
Borg
The
tea,
whole
no
point
good.
of the campaign is that you're going to hell.
Oh, so that's why it's called Descent into Madness.
Descent into Avernus.
Avernus.
Descent into Avernus. Did I say
Yeah.
Madness?
That's the campaign.
Oh yeah, it's sent into the Avernus. Yeah, there we go.
That's not really a spoiler, that's just the basic catchline is, let's go party in Avernus.
Yeah.
What could be so bad about that?
Just see,
Yeah, what could go wrong?
just see Plink coming in from above Avernus. It's like cannonball.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Plink is
Lands-
nuts.
Lands in, lava.
Plink is dead.
Depends.
If you get lava
Do
on
I?
him.
What's funny is that this character probably has the most plot relevance, being a...
A tiefling?
But technically, Levistus is much deeper down.
But Borg could have history with tieflings. Hmm.
You and Orin are both Fae.
I don't even know what that means.
You're fairies.
Different realm.
You're from
I'm
the
a
Feywild.
7-foot fairy. I got wings.
Yeah.
I know. I
You
just
are
picked.
of the Fae.
I just picked.
Technically, Plink is too.
Technically.
You just a fae? Oh, because you're a gnome.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
a you.
A gnome
okay.
that Borg can use as a weapon in a sense.
Yeah, this party's weird. You have 3 Faelings and a half demon.
Yeah.
Technically, gnomes are Fey and more Fey than elves, but less Fey than Orin and.
You have a little fairy and a satyr. There's not really.
Yeah, there's
anything
a
more
fairy, a
than that.
satyr, a gnome, and a tiefling. So a demon. It's like it's an interesting.
Again, Orteg was the most normal of all of you.
Yeah.
Being a half-elf.
And Orteg decided to go away and read a book.
Yeah, he's in Candlekeep.
Decides to read a book instead of doing all this stuff with us.
There is actually a book series for Candlekeep.
We have that. It's mini adventures. And Candlekeep is in the city. Well, it's not in the city proper, but it's here. It's on the map somewhere. It might be in the city. I can't remember.
Oh, no, wait, that's Sewer Keep, not Candle Keep.
No, Candlekeep is in the... is in or around, where the heck here? Or am I thinking of Waterdeep? I might be thinking of Waterdeep.
You might be,
Waterdeep. Short game though today.
Kinda.
We've been doing
I
it
mean-
for 3 hours.
Yeah, it's kind of our. Wait, 3 hours?
I don't
I'm
know.
awake.
2.5.
I can math, guys.
Well, I mean,
Ow,
we've
ow,
been
ow, ow,
the
ow,
stream went
ow.
on live for like an hour and a half, but we've been talking for like an hour.
That is fair.
I don't even know what Jamie was
We've been
thinking
talking for
evilly.
2 hours. We
Located
got
in...
on at 5:30.
Candlekeep is located 120 miles south of Baldur's Gate. So, it's close to Baldur's Gate.
So it's across the river.
No...
Well, you said south. Gee.
I don't think the map's orientated technically right. But it is across the river, yeah. Look at the compass, it's weird. The map isn't technically pointing north proper.
Well, no, but technically south of Boulder's Gate is the river.
Yeah.
So it's across. Whatever. Doesn't matter. He matters is he's not here.
Don't make me get a big map of Faerun out.
Even in the books series they've written for this particular setting, it is very unclear. They change distances subtly from time to time.
Yeah, probably not too surprising.
It's just because they change the rules from edition to edition, and it doesn't always reflect well in the novels.
Yeah.
Oh, because novels don't follow the same freaking.
That's also a thing. But they do give distances, it's just not always clear.
I can increase your distance at least with Orb's Throw.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
It's like
That's that's your strength need to go up.
well, you said I can do up to 40 plus more if I do a running start.
That would actually solve the problem of Plink being.
There's also the fact that if we have to go jump over a chasm or something like that, it's like Borg could just be like, and alley-oop.
Oh my god, this is super detailed. What the heck?
Oh, the one I was using?
No, this map.
That's actually the one I was using.
This map?
Yeah, I was using the top half of this map.
Look, there's Icewind Dale.
Yeah. And that right there is where we were.
Neverwinter.
Yeah, we were actually. Right here is where we were.
Findalen.
Mm-hmm. And
There's somewhere.
scroll down just as.
Is there like way out here? As far as
Our nest, yes.
then we're down here somewhere. Baldur's Gate.
Mm-hmm.
There's Canopy. There's Eltro.
There was a trail.
True.
At the moment, it's in need of a little assistance.
TLC.
Just a bit. Demon shoot hat. Wahaha, and I have.
Wahaha.
What are we doing?
Wahaha.
Me and Jamie were just looking at maps like a bunch of nerds.
Sorry, we like maps.
I'm just listening to you guys' conversation. More D&D conversation means more interesting
Yes.
stories.
Yeah, pretty much. I was pointing out different locations of another.
Here, I'll do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid idea of
You're gonna
the
make me do the freaking map here.
map of the setting.
Oh, what?
It's
Are we
kind
gonna
of
see a map of the setting? Sneak preview?
The map of the
map
setting.
of the full.
Yeah. It's a big map. Pretty map.
I'm not seeing it. Where is it?
Oh, yeah.
He's making attempts to.
Is it on
Make it
Roll20
visible.
or is it a Discord?
No, I'm gonna upload it. Give me a second.
Is this something I can show on stream?
Yes. I think so. It's technically not copyrighted. I mean, it's probably copyrighted, but I think they allow you to just use it.
Well, as long as like usually the
Most D&D stuff's free to use because you have to use it.
Yeah, because like usually for like copyrighted images, it's like as long as you credit the people or at least you don't making money.
I mean, yeah, credit the Wizards of the Coast who did this crap. Like, I'm not gonna credit Wizards of the Coast. Do I look the fool?
You look like a fool.
Oh, there goes the mood. am trying to get it to upload, but this is a really large file.
That is the problem with it. That's why I had to use a smaller version.
Do the low res version.
Oh.
Can you not do the low res version?
I'm trying to upload it in the. I'm trying to make the map in the Roll20, but I can upload it here. Anyways.
Oh, there it is. Oh, isn't this the map that we used before in the last campaign?
No.
It looks similar.
It is similar.
Because it's this. Jamie had a chunk of it. There's camera.
Mm-hmm. There's.
Yeah, Jamie has a chunk of this, but that map's huge.
Wheel.
Yeah, this is the part of the map, but yeah.
16. 18, yes.
Okay, so where we're going, we don't need toasts.
You don't even need that map, technically.
That's true. Oh, thank you, Will, for the contribution.
Did we hit it?
Nope.
Oh,
I need 2,000 more.
Jamie, do it.
What did I do?
Do it.
Do
Contribute.
what? Contribute to what?
Give Nick all his points.
How do I give points?
Top part. Or no, never mind. Hit the box. Do it. Max. We did it!
Hey, thank you, Jamie. We reached it.
I
we
told you to
do?
drink water earlier, but you did not drink water.
I did drink water. You want me to drink water again, Jamie, for you? I'll do it.
Rehydrate.
You didn't say it needs proof.
There you go. I drank water on screen. Again.
Then I will do this to ensure that you do.
She's bribing you. Yeah.
Well, Jamie was the final one to contribute, so I guess now I gotta do my Nuzlocke challenge in January. I gotta decide a game. Crap.
Woo!
I can't.
Did you not have an idea yet?
I have 3
You'd
games I
think we'd
want to
do
do,
it.
and I haven't decided which one I want to do.
He'd
Oh.
think we'd do it.
I don't know. I didn't think it would be done this fast. That's for sure. I had
How fast?
I set this up last weekend on a Saturday, and it already in 1 week already did it.
Nice.
So you should have lowered the cap because everybody was donating every time you streamed.
Yeah. I should increase the cap or lower the time.
Next time.
Yep. Next time I lower it. Also, vote for 6th gen. Unfortunately, that is not gonna happen, Luigi, because 6th gen is a gen I have never played. And
X
I want
and
to.
Y?
Huh?
X and Y?
Yeah, I never played X and Y, so I can't. Also, thank you for a resub, man.
Oh.
See.
Thank you, Try. How you been doing? Thanks. Just chatting up for the last bit of D&D. I know that.
X and Y is a really good generation.
Yeah,
You should try it if you can get your hands on it.
Oh, I have. My brother has Y, and I am gonna be streaming my first time playing through it, like I did with 3rd generation and 5th generation, and then now 6th generation is the last generation I have never played. So I'm gonna be playing that on stream whenever I get a chance to.
Neat.
So I don't know when that's gonna happen, but I want to at least my first experiences with a generation never to be Nuzlocke at least. So. Yeah, so 6th generation unfortunately is not going to be Nuzlocke. However, all the other generations are technically on the table for Nuzlocking.
Don't worry, Light. You haven't missed technically much, considering we've got 11 sessions and we just finished the first dungeon.
I mean,
proper.
this last one is pretty short in terms of how much we did because we only fought like one. We didn't even move that much. We went to bed, we woke up, found the 2 people fighting, and we fought after I threw Plink like a cannonball.
Yeah, good thing I told you to rest, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That may have been a bit meta, but at the same time, I wasn't gonna TPK you guys.
You would have actually if
Sure, if you'd walked in there, but that's the consequences of your own actions.
Hey, Borg, we're just going with it. The group. He was tired.
Because we weren't sleeping in poo water.
We fought one monster, went to bed, threw a cannonball. What a way to avoid cannonballs. Yeah, I mean, you can watch some of the moments because the last session was crazy. Punched a wall, I tackled an old lady. Lissa killed a whole room full of bones.
Borg's either going to die a very horribly painful death, or he's going to somehow solve every puzzle through sheer brute force.
Yee.
And then Plink would never get to use her equipment ever.
I really don't know which will happen first, unfortunately.
So, Jamie, you gotta work fast before Borg decides to punch things.
It's the sadder part. Because I do work fast, but you work faster with your head.
He doesn't work with his head, he works with his fist.
No, I rammed it.
No, he headbutts it.
Yeah, headbutt stuff. May have low standards. I may have low charisma, but I have standards, Lissa.
Yeah. That is like one of the best quotes so far.
That's one of the best quotes of the session. That was from the last campaign. It's like
That was from like I think the second session.
yeah, it was from the second session. Tell you seduce a
was
slug,
insane,
and it's like,
Jan.
ew, no. Also, I like how the last campaign also we solved the final boss right away too, and Jamie didn't even get to do much.
That wasn't even much of a boss.
No, that was more just a whodunit mystery thing, and yeah.
Yeah, Borg solved that like right off the bat.
Instantly no. I mean, it was kind of obvious who it was sus, but that was fast.
Yeah, I figured it was her when like an actual player, but as the character it was just like I rolled really good rolls and Jamie couldn't convince Borg anyway.
You know what makes me sad?
What?
Huh.
All these enemies have cool abilities. But I don't even know how you get those in game for your characters.
What cool abilities?
Like the one that lets him just turn everybody into a pincushion.
Who's that? Who does that?
What the boss?
I think it has more to do with the culty things, and most players don't get involved in culty things.
I mean, we could.
We
I mean,
could,
are you telling
but
me
it's...
paladins and clerics aren't cultists to their good gods?
I mean,
If-
if we do another set of characters, I do want to try to. I do want to try to do all chaotic evils where we just do, I guess, do whatever we want. I guess.
I think we have a book for that, maybe.
I know Lissa was
Yes.
wanting to do that.
What was I
I
wanting to do?
have a book for that. We can go to that once we.
Well, didn't you say, was it you or was it Janine that said like they would be awesome to do like a whole group of evil people and we just do like kill and murder?
Oh, I want to do that. Yeah,
That's how you get
for a
death
while.
salad.
I have a setting for that if you want to do it one day.
One
That's how
one
you
day.
get death salad.
Let's finish this first, or try to.
Well, yeah, I just haven't done one before, and I know I've enjoyed being an evil character before. So
I will warn you, evil campaigns are how you feed dragons death salad.
Think about it this way.
yeah,
Think about it this way. Slow death crawling is equivalent to your character's thinking miles a minute.
I have no idea.
If we're honest, none of us in real life would be smart enough to utilize our physical capabilities to defeat supernatural entities.
That is true.
It's true. I mean, Borg is more... My character is more physical damage and doesn't really have anything to use for range or magic. I mean, he can sense
I'll
magic.
say that, I'll say it now, Wyatt. Voldemort was a weak-ass punk who probably would have been off by a gun had he actually shown his face in the real world.
Well, we always struggle against rival. Save the baby, helpless woman. Chaotic evil group. Yes, I'll save the baby from the clutches of your good parenting skills.
Can relate.
It's like, save us! Sure. It's like, we're gonna save this baby and then kill the mother and then raise the baby to be an evil little devil.
Now, if you guys want to do an evil campaign, I think we could do that at some point. We'll see how this one goes. If I TPK you, we can go do that if it's more fun.
Well, I mean, you have to get past Janine Vicious Mockery first.
Yeah. Vicious Mockery is actually pretty good.
Unfortunately, it didn't really do anything in that.
Again, the theme
It's
of
more
the dungeon
situational.
was resist.
What? What'd you say?
The theme of the dungeon was resistance.
It's a resistance dungeon. It's not good for Vicious Mockery, or it's just more the dungeon than anything else.
If it was just pure roll to attack magic stuff, you probably would have had a better chance of getting stuff off.
Well, good news.
Unfortunately, you run the gauntlet of those are really good spells against certain enemy types and really bad spells against other enemy types.
I mean, the good news is that at least you made it through the sewers with at least someone alive.
2 people.
2 out of 3 people alive.
It's actually not bad.
That's true.
The other civilian lasted a whole lasted 3 battles actually. The other guys lasted didn't even last 1 battle.
You got blown up by the fireball.
That was kind of hindsight's 2020 on that one.
All of us
It
left
was-
him.
Hindsight's 2020, and I could have wiped the party right there on accident.
Yeah, that could have been a TPK by accident.
Yeah, except we all made our saving throws.
It
So-
Except that guy.
We were all fine, except for him.
It doesn't even matter if he had made the saving throw. He had 8 health.
Yeah, well, he was already injured, so.
Yeah, he also had 1 health remaining. Yeah.
Literally, the last things he saw were us trying to save him, Borg almost killing him, and fire.
And fire.
Now he's ashes and poo water.
Well, he's ashes
wasn't
on a
even in
wall
the
because he was
water.
holding a wall, and you just see a mark
I
on
was
the
gonna
wall.
say,
of
he
it.
wasn't even food. You weren't even in the water at that time.
So he's basically part of the whole dead cult's sewers.
He's no interior decorations.
Apparently.
Eventually, he's gonna be cleaned because someone's gonna come down there and clean that wall.
I don't know
start
if
another
anyone's
cult.
gonna come down and clearly clean a wall. They're just gonna maybe pick up the bodies.
Start another cult down there.
Yeah, we may have caused some plumbing issues, guys.
See, like people flush the toilet, blood starts coming out of the toilet. Mom, something happened to the toilet. I think
Buddy, the cultists have plugged the toilet again.
it's the head comes out of the toilet. Blech. It's all the decapitation Borg has done. I'm sorry, that's light. We made some graphic stuff in the sewers. I'm sorry,
We'll
light.
have some problems.
Mm-hmm. But it's okay. I'm
Terrible
only
puns were also made.
with Chip. Puns were made and
And skulls were stomped on.
skulls were stomped on. I decapitated a few people. Someone 2 people turned into ash. The civilian and Plink is the final boss because of Plink.
Yeah, Orin was MVP for that. Yeah.
And Orin
Is
was.
that-
It's all about the puns. When my college buddies and I played campaigns, I mean, don't
yeah.
people eradicate if I want to finish now. They make way too many anime references. Finish that burger, Will.
Eat it.
Maybe Jamie, one of your next characters should be is just literally talking puns almost.
I've done that. I had an insult comic bard for what we called the Chaos campaign, who is armed with a wand of wonder.
What does that do?
Yes.
Oh
Okay. Pretty much, it could the GM did a custom Rod of Wonder that he would roll for the book, he would roll for the chart, he would roll for the type of spell, and he would roll for the spell. So he had to do at least 4 different rolls to figure out what spell was being cast from that wand. In one session alone, with Rod of Wonder, I accidentally turned the level 9 mid-boss necromancer into like a level 15 necromancer with a shield and wish and an army of skeletons. But I got to turn a wall hot pink into goo.
So
Yeah.
how much will Chris be willing to do something similar to that?
What's up?
Will we do something similar to wands? Do the wand of wonder?
Water render is not something you want to do lightly.
Janine has the butter knife. Agrees.
The butter knife of Greece, yes.
Let's see. I'll give you 5 subs if one of your characters says at any point in the next campaign, I don't see the part where that's my problem. Honestly, we already said that a couple times.
But actually, that has been said.
I feel like that specific line has been referenced.
No,
yes.
Wasn't it like like Lisa? Did you say in? No.
Someone told the guard captain, I think, that line.
Yeah, and then also like Borg went into the room of zombies, and Lisa's character was like, "That's not my problem."
Yeah, Zorus just basically stood there.
You know what? Like, you go rewatch all the things. If we did say that line, give the subs. If we didn't, then
Yeah, you don't have to, anyways. Yeah, I would say like rewatch everything. I'm pretty sure we said some kind of variation of that though. I know that Lisa was like, "That's not my problem."
Well,
It's not my
I'm not
monkey.
helping you. What I think I said.
You know,
I said something of that line.
I just had a thought, Jamie.
Yeah.
Can you turn yourself into a ball? Like, can you put your arms and legs inside your armor, and it can be like a very protective armor ball?
No.
Dang it. I was gonna say like I could just like make you into a makeshift mace if you had spikes and just throw you and swing you around.
Still do that. Technically, I just wouldn't be a mace. I would be a improvised weapon of a gnome.
Yeah, Nick's gonna need to get that.
That is a feat you can get.
Yeah. There are like 11 sessions. This is the 11th session, so like you got like some hours, but there's not many
There we
sessions.
go. Haha.
Sessions go weird, is all I would say.
What's going on here, though?
What's going well?
My sewing. Not sewing, my knit. I've learned to knit.
You're knitting.
I can't use needles, so I use I don't know what to call it, but the stitch saber to pull the loops through.
So Alyssa does sewing, Jamie does knitting. Got it.
I do embroidery.
Isn't that similar to sewing though?
Nick.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, you're both using needles, but sewing a lot of times is more like creating, like, I don't know, whole pieces. Like, you can create a dress through sewing. Embroidery is like the detailed work, like pictures.
Okay.
Like, have you ever seen a wedding dress? So sewing is like making the whole dress, and embroidery is doing like the flowers that are on the dress and like all the beading and all that.
Yeah. Okay. Also, only 9 through 26. Okay, so yeah, in Metopia was during the time where I started uploading to YouTube, so there's gonna be some incomplete playthroughs or no playthroughs on my YouTube channel. So I'm slowly getting around to that. Man, I forgot Metopia went on for a very long time. Jamie was a fairy. Lissa became a Dark Lord. And you threw...
Utopia, the game they came out with for the Switch recently again.
Yep. That came out of like nowhere. I think it was around like session 9 through 12 or somewhere like that, where they just randomly came out with Metopia on the Switch, and it was like, well, it's a little too late. I'm already playing Metopia on the 3DS. I'm not going restarting my whole campaign, because I would have to remake everyone's me when I already made them on my 3DS.
I have no interest in it.
If they make a Tomodachi Life 2 on the Switch, I will buy that instantly. I want a Tomodachi Life 2.
But they made a me game for the
Yeah.
Switch recently.
Metopia, yeah.
No, they might announce more games at the Game Awards this Thursday.
Ooh.
Those you can watch with me. I'm pretty sure Chris cannot watch with me though, because he's working.
Thursday? No, I gotta work.
I am
She
not
also has to work.
Thursday, maybe, yes.
Oh, your schedule's up there.
Well, it's gonna be it's gonna be happening from 5 to 8 my art, like listen my time. So it's gonna be pretty late for you guys.
Yeah.
7 to 10.
Yeah, 7 to 10. Yeah, right. You know, 3 hours ahead. It's just Janine. Time zones are sucky sometimes. Like I wish time zone. Like I'm glad time zones work, because sometimes we can work out a time that works with both of us if you're across the globe. But then it's like if you're not so across the globe, it's like you're 2 hours ahead. It's harder to schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have to be across this country, Chris and Jamie?
And Janine.
And I mean, Janine has school.
He's not here, but yeah.
You can work-
Because I could not find any work.
Because budget.
Also daycare.
Oh yeah, didn't Will do 3 hydrates? Oh, I have to do 3 hydrates. I forgot.
And
Yeah, now you have 4.
Maybe smash.
There we go.
Jesus, like you don't have to plug them.
Each hydrate is a sip. 1 sip. And then
Because you could accidentally give your water poisoning if you're not careful.
water poisoning will only happen if I take like 5,000 sips, Jamie. That, and if I don't ever go to the bathroom ever in my life again.
That's if your kidneys it's not quite the same thing, but yeah, your kidneys could shut down.
Well, I'm glad I don't drink alcohol then. Because that's one way to shut your kidneys down.
There's many ways to shut your kidneys down.
Yeah, I was gonna say your kidneys are pretty sensitive.
I don't know other ways outside of alcohol.
Diuretics.
What?
Things that dehydrate you can shut your kidneys down.
Oh,
Too many energy drinks.
Oh, and the most amount of energy drinks I had in like a day were probably like 2 or 3, and that was back in university.
Anything that puts too much pressure on your kidneys can cause a shutdown.
Yeah, well, I put a limit on hydrates because of people like you.
But
Wow.
technically, another way is to have a tree fall on your back. That happened to my uncle.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other problems that come from just getting trained better.
Yeah.
I'm on
Yeah, it
Chris's-
doesn't have to be just a tree. You can just hit someone in the kidneys, and that can.
Kidney punch.
Is the kidney like...
The kidneys are essentially frame your spine in the back, your lower back.
Wait, are they... Wait, no, isn't it easier to punch on the front, like where you got punch?
There's a lot more padding on the front than the back.
So you're saying like
Well,
it's easier to
yeah.
punch on the back for the kidney?
So
No.
it's harder. Well, there's a lot of other organs on top of your kidneys if you're going through the front. Like your intestines are on top of your kidneys, essentially, if that's how you're looking at it. So your kidneys are essentially right by your skin.
There's a layer of tissue and
Well,
muscle,
I mean,
but
if you
yes.
punch from the back as well, you have to
yeah,
go.
no, they're not like literally against your skin.
I mean, like the kidneys, if you punch from the back, you also have to get through the bones in the back because while the
Yeah.
bones more so protect your upper body, on the front,
Well, so the bones in your back, you have your spine,
yeah.
and that's like your major bone. The kidneys essentially frame your spine, so they're not necessarily protected by bone.
So not protected by the rib cage because they're a bit lower than that.
Nick, are we technically lying?
Yeah,
to
they're
your
too
chat?
low to be protected by the rib cage.
What you say, Chris?
Are we lying to your chat? We're not in playing D&D anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting.
This is the after talk of the
Always after talk. I'm just like,
anatomy
either
from
we keep
Michelle and
talking for
James.
another 15-ish minutes because I'm kind of waiting to raid Carl.
Oh,
Green
we're
and
waiting
now.
for Carl to start.
Carl's like 15-ish minutes.
I'm game to wait for Carl.
Okay. Well, do you have another topic you have to say other 15 minutes? Otherwise, we're gonna keep talking about how to punch a kidney.
Listen, what was your what's
Are
your
you
work
still
story?
confused what kidneys are?
Oh, what Luigi? Oh yeah, Luigi asked that question for what was the best. What was the question like? What was the best work story for your first job? Is what you said, Luigi? I don't know. Can you remember what you said yesterday?
No, that's the question.
Okay, so that was the question.
Yeah.
I mean, let's all of us worked at least at one job, so.
Well, I don't know if I really have like the best work story. I just have like recently all I can think about is just the toxicity that has been going on at work.
How about this? What's one of the, if you can't think of like a really like really good work story, it's like what was your favorite moment of working at your job?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of like I work with animals, so they do a lot of dumb shit. So there's a lot of like funny moments. Oh, I think
People.
I think recently was literally just the other day is after me and a few of the other girls, like we're closing up. So it's literally just the four of us left in the building. We're cleaning. We were just chatting, and of course we were complaining about certain situations and certain people at work that are making things kind of hard and toxic. But then after that, my coworker, she brings her dogs to work because we can do that since we're animal hospital. And we were coming up, and she has a shepherd. And one of the other girls was cleaning with a broom, and we found out that broom is his favorite game. He went fucking nuts.
Yeah.
He started barking and was like trying to pounce on the broom, and he would literally take it and like try and shake it out of her hands and like following her around. He was just having a grand old time, and it was the funniest thing. It was great. So it was and it was great until he pulled it out of her hands and the broom hit the other girl in the leg. But you know what, that was still pretty funny. So, and it was all fine.
Nobody died.
No, yeah, nobody died. No one got seriously injured, but it was pretty
Listen,
funny.
didn't have
So
to.
this is
Listen, didn't have to
What?
break out her butcher knife.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It was just a fun way to end the night. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. My first work was technically my internship. That one was like I didn't do anything at that job though. I don't consider that my favorite moment, even though I didn't do anything to get at that job really, except just sit there and look at code. And I mean literally just look at stuff. Not doing.
Sat there and took it.
Huh?
You sat there and took it.
Yeah, I sat there and took it. I mean, there was the time where I worked at because I worked at the information desk on university at Western. That one was probably like so far the more fun job because I got to hang with people, and especially when I got to work closing shifts. Like, yeah, I got late, but almost nothing usually happens at that desk. No one comes by to check lost and found. No one asked for information really after like a certain point, and we were open for like another 2 hours. I just like do my homework or watch YouTube and talk to the building manager for a good while. So, like those were some moments where I just like did nothing. Got some weird moments there though, where people just like, I think like throw paper airplanes, and then there was one time a guy. Because, like, you know, like, there are service dogs that are trained. I think, yeah, it was service dog. Yeah, service dogs are trained to not, to watch the owner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a time where I remember, because, like, the building is not allowed any pets, but, we allow at least...
dogs are allowed.
Huh?
Service animals were technically allowed.
Yeah, service animals are the only people. I mean, emotional support is kind of like a hit or miss depending on the situation, I guess. But for more than not, it's a service animal is like usually gets the pass. I remember that there was this older gentleman coming towards the information, ask information, and I just see this dog and I have no jacket to recognize it as a service animal because I usually instantly think about that, but I know that service animals don't require the jacket. But what made me really suspicious about it was that the dog was so excited and then literally put its paws and head right up on the desk. Like, that's not normal for a service dog to do. And I was like, I was gonna tell him like pets are not allowed. And he was like, "This is a service animal to shut me up," kind of thing. So I don't know. I felt like that guy was lying about a service animal because usually service animals are not meant to act like actual pets like that. But I couldn't ask him for proof, really.
Duty.
Yeah. I don't know. Either way, it was just like I didn't bother with it. He wasn't doing anything harmful, but I had a sneaking suspicion that he was lying to me to just keep his dog with him, just walk in the building whenever. Chris and Jamie, you guys, any past funny stories you guys like?
For my first job,
Oh yeah.
I worked at a deli. It sucked.
Any
It was
Did you get a lot of
undertrained.
people screaming at you?
Yeah, people were like, "Oh, why can't you check me out? You have a cash register." It's like, because the deli's closed, so I don't cash register. It's like, well, that's dumb. It's like, I'm sorry, it's not my rule. I had some guy come up to me and be like, "Hey, buddy, don't tell me not to buy beer." It's like, okay, don't buy beer. It's like, okay, now I'm gonna leave. It's like, alright, dude.
So he literally just wants someone to just tell him not to buy beer.
I guess I told him not to do it because he asked me to, and I'm just like, okay. It's like, I don't know who you are, or what's going on, but okay. Like, I got your back.
Got your back. How about you, Jamie? Any funny stories?
Let's see. Technically, first, I do not count RHA as a first job because that was just,
Stupid.
yeah. They paid me, I was paid below minimum wage, among other things.
Hmm,
Well, it was just not a fun time for you at all, so.
that's true.
It was not. The hotel, oh my gosh. Most of my stories are definitely not PG-13.
It's not after urgent.
Well, considering the fact that what happened to Chris last night during Imposter Factory, I don't know. I mean, we could allow some things to slide.
What joke specifically are you referencing?
There was a time where we were like it was the Quincy was in the main road showing his makeshift art of the world monuments.
I made some really not okay jokes. I will admit.
Yeah, you made some. You're funny, but you made some really dark jokes.
I will admit to that.
I was rewatching some of that. It's like, dang, it's so.
I was tired.
You were also making that weird comment where it's like the biology teacher was talking about natural selection, and you were just like rebutted against Janine, being like, "I'll naturally select you."
No, I was a rebuttal against you, Nate.
Or it's me, I don't know. It was either one. It was just like didn't make much sense.
Didn't make much sense, but I think most was laughed at it at the time.
It was. Also, Jamie should really watch that playthrough. I think she will enjoy it with you.
Possibly. I do know I accidentally broke in the kitchen for 5 minutes straight.
A whole kitchen
There was no food coming out. The whole kitchen. I broke the kitchen.
for 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes straight. No one could get any work done.
Wow.
Is it about the
wine
one
tray?
item? Yeah.
Is the wine tray. Fun parts about hotels is they used to do room service.
Yeah.
They don't always do it anymore because current events, but part of my job was an optional part of my job was to help kitchen gather up dirty dishes that had been left over the day by the housekeepers to be picked up from rooms that had been cleaned. That way they just focus on kitchen and save time. So they wouldn't have to wander about a half mile of hallways for a couple of dirty wine glasses.
Wow.
So, oh yeah, no, I was in great shape during that job, but there was just this weird wine tray, and it was an empty bottle of wine, a cork, a couple of wine glasses, and a wine plug. I didn't think anything of it because I'm not very worldly when it comes to wine or anything. So, I pick it up, pass my supervisor, doesn't say a thing. Pass the assistant supervisor, doesn't say a thing. Pass several of the inspectors, no one says a thing. Finally, I take it into the break room, through the kitchen into the dish unloading area, and everyone had left at that point, and the brunch waitress and the front desk supervisor come up and then just stop in front of my wine tray with their jaws dropped, kind of gasping. And I was very concerned because he's generally a very friendly, chatty guy, and he's just stone solid, not reacting, just shocked. It's like, what, is something wrong? Is something broken? Are you okay? Is there something wrong with the tray that I'm not seeing? What's wrong? And the only 3 words could escape his mouth. That's a butt plug.
Oh my god, and no one said anything?
Yes, but here's the thing. As y'all very know, I am not what you call a very worldly person.
Mm-hmm.
What program?
You're not well versed in that aspect.
Yes.
Yeah, so I wasn't very well in that until that moment. They had to explain what was going on with that, why it was so shocking, and it was very awkward for everyone, but they were laughing so hard that it got the entire staff's attention to the point where everyone had to stop, take pictures of it, because of course, pics or it didn't happen, guys. And so yeah, luckily it wasn't super fast in the restaurant, but yeah. So it completely shut down kitchen for about 5 minutes because no one could get work done because they were laughing too hard. One guy was actually on the floor laughing at one point.
Honestly, yeah.
They approved to have a butt plug in the vicinity.
Yeah, it was properly disposed of and contained. So it was we made sure to do all the sanitation practice that issue, but it was still, it's like, I thought it was a wine plug, and that made people...
Just knowing what butt plugs are,
Well, I think one of the cooks said something to the fact of, well, it is used to make people wine, but that's not what it's for, sweetie.
You could, I guess you could plug them up with
I
that.
mean, he's not wrong, but...
And that's why the other cook couldn't breathe.
Oh my god, that's great.
Yeah, so like I said-
people that could just do that.
So yeah, no one said anything, no one noticed anything because they were so focused on their own work that they didn't realize there was a not a wine plug on that tray. I think till the day he left, that was his favorite story ever. He was having a really bad day and he really needed to.
Sometimes for people with a really bad day needs literally a good laugh or two.
Yeah, just the houseman accidentally making a mistake of that's not a wine plug. It's not. How do you even think that's a wine plug? Of what else would it be?
Why else would it be?
I mean, it plugs people up.
Yeah. So that was a thing. The sadder part is he actually knew from the room, me describing the room location, who it was.
Concerning.
Did they do it as a prank or did it by legit accident?
We aren't sure. We are legitimately not sure.
I kind of wish it was a prank. I just wanted to see you take it.
I mean, if it was a legit accident and they left it, they're
Probably
probably
an
not gonna
accident.
go asking around, hey, so I left something.
The sadder part is he was comforting her because she was on FaceTime with her son when he got hit in the head with a baseball. The night
Ooh.
before.
Wait, it was a she who had it or a he?
Yes.
Who knows?
Well, I mean, the thing is that why would you, if it wasn't a prank, why would you bring a butt plug to work?
No, it wasn't work. It was
It
hotel.
was found in one of the rooms.
Oh, we found one in the room. Oh, wait.
Found on a tray in the middle of the
I
hallway.
thought one of your staff members brought it. That's why I was like confused.
No. It's just stuff people leave behind and don't want to admit they leave behind.
Like, does Ponytail evolve by a level?
Yep.
Polytoad, I thought needed King's Rock.
Oh, Polyta? I thought you said Ponyta.
I said Ponytail.
Ah.
That's a, well, they have similar names. I was like a fire horse to a water frog.
I don't even know what level evolves.
I think like 30 or 20,
36?
30.
It's in like 35 and it's all evolved. So,
I think
Then
36.
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, this has been fun. Fun stories, Jamie. That definitely made my day.
Yeah,
I'm gonna head out.
I am one of those people. I have the
cannot blame you.
weirdest stories about just things I have seen.
I think you shouldn't have seen Jamie.
you should
So
have never
fun.
experienced it in the first place. Level 40.
40?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, but anyway, night guys.
Okay.
Good night,
Good night.
Melissa.
Stay
Take
safe.
care.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
I got part of a scarf done.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm a sheepy.
It's okay.
It hurt because, yeah, no. The booster's okay. It's just
Oh, you got your boosters,
Nah.
guys? Both of you?
Yeah.
that's why we're a little out of it. It's boosters.
When did you
Yeah.
I'm hoping I feel better tomorrow because yeah.
When did you get your boosters?
Today.
Oh, today.
Yeah, we
Today.
just-
Okay.
Yeah, there's this CVS nearby that was doing them, so we did our boosters because we were told no going to Christmas if we didn't get our boosters.
I'm assuming that you guys at least have tomorrow off because a lot of side effects
I
happen the next
do,
day.
she doesn't.
Yeah, I may have to call out.
Well, no, your tomorrow is usually your off day anyway, Chris.
I know.
Well, if you're not dying, play some Battlefield with me.
Okay.
If not, I'll play Battlefield with Mr. Chunky Man. He knows how to shoot a gun in the game.
Yeah.
He's been chaos. He has been utter chaos.
I bet having a child is a lot of work.
Oh yeah, no. The other day he completely destroyed the kitchen and decided to get the full garbage can and spread it all over the floor.
Yeah.
How big is that
Nah.
garbage can?
Not.
It's only like 2.5 feet tall, but the problem is he's persistent and he's strong and he's quick.
He sounds like he will be an athlete when he grows up.
He
No.
might.
He'll become the next. Become the next Michael Phelps, or whichever big Olympic winner.
Oh. There is a shot that he might be built like a wall.
So either play sports, maybe.
It'd be a sports or the strongman.
Strong. Oh yeah, strongman would do. Yeah.
I know my uncle would carry around motor blocks under his arm.
What kind of sport would you allow him to do?
Whatever he wants.
Would you be okay him playing football?
I hope by the time he gets to play football that they've actually done their goddamn work and fixed the death or
Concussions?
yeah.
Eh.
Yeah, that's true. Football is very dangerous, but
I
hopefully.
mean, I'm not gonna stop him either.
Ah, such a good dad.
He's
It's
all
more.
to make his life choices.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, his birthday's coming up too.
You
Yeah,
will be too.
I could skip that day of work because I told them I'm skipping that day of work.
And I have put in my day off months ago to get that day off.
What? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I know it's not on Christmas, but it's around Christmas. But I think you said, I think Jamie, you said before that he was scheduled to come around Christmas, but he came early.
He came a bit early.
So I'm thinking like the 13th for some reason.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
18th.
Mm-mm.
20.
Close.
Closer.
21.
Yeah.
Cool. Wait, 21 is a
Tuesday.
Oh, Chris, you already have that day off.
I do not.
Nope. Not
I-
during winter.
Working 50-hour weeks.
Oh.
55.
Okay. So
I'm skipping that day.
you're not, so you're being called in until
That week.
January?
Not that week.
Just that
This is
week.
supposed to be the last one.
Oh well, I mean
The
that is
last-
Christmas, yeah.
Yeah. Early this year was just jank.
Well, 21. I wait. So you
Yeah.
guys have Christmas off, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah,
So you're going
I have it off.
you're going to visit your family on Christmas.
We're like 2 feet away, yeah.
Yeah, so are you going to be celebrating his you're
Birthday
going to give
on-
his presents both on his birthday
Yeah,
and
he has 2 different, yeah.
Yeah. He deserves to have his birthday.
wow, that kid is lucky.
We're trying to make sure he knows the separate.
We're doing our best to make sure that separate birthday is.
Because otherwise it's kind of not fair to him.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things is that later on he's going to expect like 2 different presents.
I know.
Most kids do get 2 different presents. It's just his birthday just happens to be.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
problem is like December is going to be expensive for you guys because you got to get
It is.
2
We're
presents.
aware.
What do you guys get him?
A lot. We got him a chair, his own little private dinosaur chair.
Ooh, fancy.
My knitting's coming apart.
Uh-oh.
It's all good. It's fixable.
Okay.
Yeah. He's getting his own chair, some new clothes, some new toys. The chair's the important thing because he keeps stealing ours.
Yeah.
He keeps on trying to take out my computer with my chair.
Like smash it. Chunk smash.
He's been pretty destructive. So if I suddenly go like completely off the grid, it's not voluntary. It's all my stuff is broken. I don't have a. Oh, I don't have a phone at the moment. Technically, I have a flip phone.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, Carl's still not live. I'm guessing he's still setting up stuff, which sucks.
I have no idea.
I mean, I could just raid him right now and just all to send everyone over there anyway, because I think everyone who's watching usually go over to watch him anyway.
Carl and Gross, yeah.
Yeah. So let's
Just making sure Carl feels loved.
Oh yeah, let's always make Carl feel loved. I'm just like usually just like that. I mean, he's been pretty busy. He actually got hired at a new job.
That's good.
He's working at like Best Buy. He said on stream.
Nice.
Ah, Best Buy.
Have you heard stories at Best Buy? Because I never worked at Best Buy, but I've heard stuff.
I actually haven't. I assume Best Buy is pretty fine.
Best Buy, from what I can tell, well, they're still under the it's a retail job thing.
I know, but
for the most part, Best Buy is one of the better ones, I assume. But that also depends. I don't know how Best Buy works. I only know how Office Depot works. And you know how Amazon works.
True enough.
I know how tool companies work.
So that's the only part. But he's going to be working, so he's going to be pretty busy, but good on him, at least.
Having work is important right now, because...
I want work. Chris, get me a job at Amazon.
We can't.
Real simple. Just go do it.
I mean, he's a manager. Can't he technically hire me?
You're too far away.
I'm working to get to be a manager.
What?
I said I'm working to get to be a manager, but I'm not a manager.
Okay, so you're not a manager. But if you were a manager, you could technically hire me.
No.
What? Why?
I'm not the hiring department.
There's a separate thingy entirely.
Dang. Eventually, I want Chris to be the next one of the upcoming CEOs at Amazon.
CFO.
CFO, whatever. Be the next Jeff Bezos, but actually reasonable, please.
What's reasonable, Jeff Bezos?
Don't use money to go into outer space. Multiple times. And maybe do something more productive. I know, I may say that, but it's his money. He can do whatever he wants. But personally, I would rather it be.
It's not even his money. It's the company's money.
True. I just like him to do more than just go to outer space. Unless it's like you going to outer space does actually do something productive for the whole world outside of just having people experience space for the first time, in a sense. Which is not, they barely experience space in any way. They go up for a little bit and then come straight back down the same day.
Yeah, I know.
So, make another space station to do research, maybe? I don't know. The Amazon research station? I don't know.
All because he wanted to sell books.
Yeah. I heard that apparently, he even asked, like, Tom Hanks, the actor, to go up with him at one point, but Tom Hanks declined. It was reported anyway. What does table flip do? Oh, there we go.
Flip the table.
I flipped the table. I'm sorry I flipped the table. Oh. Sorry. Unflip the table. Slash commands are funny.
You're funny.
I'm not funny.
You're an internet man.
I'm not that big to be an internet man. Well, Jamie and Chris, you guys getting tired? You should probably get going.
Yeah.
Huh?
Let's go to bed.
Yeah, you guys go to bed. I'll close it off. I have someone at least.
Good night.
Yeah, I have someone to raid at least. Yep, night.
Got it.
Find him.
Good
Raid
night.
him.
Please stay
Destroy his chat.
I will see. I'll give Carl a few more minutes, but I gotta do some stuff.
Alright, have fun there.
All right, night, and
Night,
have a
everyone.
good night. See you. Thank you guys for joining. Well, there's that. So yeah, I'm gonna give Carl a few more minutes before I end it off, but definitely, definitely, I will be coming back. So this week is actually gonna be a Halo fun night. I might do some Battlefield late nights or whatever. I don't know, here and there, but this week I am planning to do Halo Infinite as a stream playthrough as late night stuff. Probably just going to be pretty late, so I don't expect many people to join, but I do want to stream that. It's going to be starting from a Wednesday to keep going, and I think I'm going to do it also on Thursday as well, so maybe continuing after the Game Awards, but after I eat dinner or something like that. So it's going to be a break and then coming back with more Halo and stuff like that. But yeah, Game Awards is going to be on Thursday, December 9th, at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific time. So it's December 9th at 5. That's the Game Awards. I'm going to be starting streaming at around 4 p.m. at my time, so an hour before, because I want to get some predictions, get some talks in, get people in, just getting ready for it and all that stuff. And obviously this is different time zones, so if you have a different time zone you want to watch it, and if you can watch it, obviously it'll be great to you guys have you. I'll be in the public Discord and for people to join in and talk, say their thoughts and all that stuff. I know it's an award ceremony. Not many people are big on the award ceremonies like the Oscars and stuff like that, but I do like to watch it for the reveals. I do like to watch it for at least some of the performances if they're good, and as well as some people deserve some recognition at the very least. So there's some good awards. So there's that. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'll be right back. I have to. I drink too much water. Too much hydrates, guys. You guys are crazy. Well, yeah, so I think I'll be rating B and Biz right now, because he's doing a little bit of a melee tournament. I know that I wanted to rate Carl, because that's my thing, but looks like he's still not live. I don't know what he's doing right now, but I am assuming that he's just pretty busy right now, so yeah, so I will basically leave it to you guys to go to Biz. Obviously I have an ending, but yeah, that's my announcements for all that stuff. Obviously, like there's my Discord. If you guys haven't joined, there's all my announcements. This December does have some plans. I think I'm gonna do some stuff this weekend as well. But I don't know if I'm gonna take a break from Chrono Trigger for a little bit because my goal with Halo Infinite is that I want to play all the story stuff in Halo Infinite. I probably won't go for 100% in the game. Depends on how much I really want to just stream it, all of it. I don't know, maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I know at least for like multiplayer stuff, I will want to do some late night multiplayers with people and just have some fun. Maybe I did like Dragon Ball Fighters with Max and Biz one time, and it was a lot of fun just streaming, like having them and having fun with that. So yeah, late night stuff was that, but that's only as long until I actually that is only as long as until I like, you know, what was it, like until I beat the campaign, or no, late night. I'm talking about late night. Sorry, I switched over to Halo Infinite. I'm only gonna be streaming late until I get a full-time job, which then I have to limit a lot of things. So there's that. Full-time jobs is one thing that's gonna have to happen anyway. So yeah, I hope to see you guys around when I can, and I hope to see you guys just whatever games I do. So yeah, I'm gonna raid B and Biz. I gotta do some stuff, and I'll talk to you guys later. I hope to see you guys through the Game Awards at the very least, and this weekend as well. D&D's playing plan for next week. We're still gonna be playing for 5:30-ish my time. So I know I just kind of posted when it's canceled or on right now. So just expect it to be sometime on Sunday. Yeah, so yeah, I will just the plans for D&D is going to be all that stuff, but for now there's a lot of plans happening, and I hope you guys are looking forward to it, because, well, you know, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you all do. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later for sure. So I hope you guys say hi to Biz if you guys are here. I don't have any raid messages, so spam emotes, spam the ab emotes if you have it, or something like that. Either way, hope you guys take care. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around in another stream, whether it be mine or someone else's. So yeah, I'll see you guys later for sure. Have a good night, guys. Take care.